can join us right here by dialing in toll free at 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We have the Discord call-in line rooms. They are open and available to you. With you in the studio tonight, it's Ian. Oh, I got.
Come on!
Did not unmute your mic.
And Richard, we did the whole mic check and everything.
Yeah, we did. But here we are yet again with more coronavirus-related insanity. But also, Richie, you had another story that sounded pretty interesting that actually, surprisingly, doesn't have to do with coronavirus. It has to do with business licensing. I hope we get to that a little bit later.
Okay.
But we're going to start out with another story that you brought in because there's this big $2.2 trillion boondoggle package.
Stimulus, bailout, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I mean, I hate calling it a stimulus because it's just stealing is what it is. It's just, when they print out money, which is what they're going to have to do to fund this, because this is like, I think it's roughly half of the federal budget, so they've basically increased the federal budget by 50% in one fell swoop here.
Crazy.
So it's a huge amount of money, and of course a ton of it is going to be going to big business, mega corporations, and there's supposed to be, like, as from what I understood, loans being made to small businesses,
which is another weird thing, right? They're allowing them to take loans, and I think Bank of America recently got in trouble because they said that if they got the bailout money, they would be giving out small business loans, and then they reneged on it a bit and said we're only giving it to customers who have previously got a loan with us. So they balked on that aspect of it as well. But
Bank of America sucks.
Sure,
so.
But it's not even real. It's not even like here's free money. It's stolen money, and they're lending it to you.
Yeah, and I don't know what the terms are of the loan, or if they're favorable at all, or how that works. I haven't paid any attention to that.
Me neither.
Because I don't want their money. I'm not interested in it. I mean, I don't blame somebody for taking it if it's there. I don't think there's anything wrong with that necessarily. But you get in bed with the gang, you got to consider the possible consequences.
That's a tough spot because I generally agree with you in that assessment. Right? I don't want it. I don't want to take it. I don't want to be on the record as having received it. Mm-hmm. But then it's a double whammy to me, right? Because they're going to inflate the currency regardless. Right. So I'm going to be behind the eight ball.
You might as well get your piece.
And I'm not getting, and then I'm refusing my piece. So I'm even further behind the people that take the money on principle alone, right? It's another like price you pay for holding a principled position type of thing, where it'd be easy just to like, yeah, if everyone's getting it, we're going to get screwed no matter what. I might as well get my piece.
Right. Yeah, I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with that. I mean, you did pay them. Right? Like they've been taxing you your whole life. They've been screwing you. So if you can get a piece of the action, I don't think there's anything wrong with it necessarily.
Yeah.
Melanie, joining us. Welcome.
Hey.
Good to have you here. So we're talking about, of course, virus-related madness. And you've got a story, Richie, about these mom-and-pop businesses who are trying to get a piece. Of this $2.2 trillion or however many hundreds of billions were allocated for these business loans. I think it was like over $300 billion or something like that.
Because the article that I have is a few days old, but it says $2.3 trillion in economic stimulus. So that's
but there's only a piece of it is going to the loans, like
right.
3 or 400 billion or 500 billion, something like that.
Right.
There was actually a really handy graph over at, I think it was visualcapitalist.com. Yeah. Let me see here. So this is the anatomy of the $2 trillion COVID-19 stimulus bill. $425 billion will be going to loans for corporations. $350 billion will go to small business. So there's a whole separate $500 billion just for large corporations. Right. And then there's $350 billion going as new loans out to so-called small businesses. So what qualifies somebody as a small business?
Right. So the article, mom and pop shops worry they will be squeezed out of the aid. Family-owned restaurants fear that they could be pitted against larger competitors, hotel chains, and potentially investment funds in a race starting on Friday. I think this was this past Friday because this is from the March 31st. For the $349 billion pot of money the U.S. government will offer businesses hard hit by coronavirus. So the term small business took a new meaning when a 56-word provision was inserted into the 148,124-word bill that raced through Congress.
Did you say 148,000 words?
Yes.
Wow.
Imagine writing that essay.
Man. Imagine reading it. Guess what?
Which they don't.
They didn't.
They don't. You got to pass the bill, and then you can find out what's in it.
Yeah.
So someone did, because they found this 56-word provision.
Right.
That doesn't mean they read it. They could have just read that part of it.
Control
Because
F.
I'll do that all the time. They'll be like, here's this 8 million page IRS reg. And I'm like, that's cool. I'm going to read the part on Schedule C's.
There you go.
Control
How about the
F.
rest?
Find small business.
But they found this 56-word provision. For certain small business loan purposes, the term typically refers to companies that employ fewer than 500 workers. But Congress and the Trump administration agreed to include large hotel and restaurant chains as long as they employed fewer than 500 workers in a given location.
Oh, so Marriott, this massive international hotel chain,
Right.
they probably don't have a whole lot of hotels with more than 500 employees.
And the smaller
There is
motels.
also a requirement, though, that they be a flow-through corporation or a flow-through business, not a corporation, which is your sole proprietors, your LLCs, and your S-corps, which for all purposes people would know is the same thing as an LLC. So it's...
Okay, but could one of these hotel companies be one of those things?
Probably not. They could. I would be really surprised by that.
So why would they be allowing hotels into the definition if they wouldn't
Because
fit?
if you own like 2 hotels with, 800 employees.
Okay.
Well, now private equity firms, venture capital funds, and other large investors are also angling for a piece of the action. Some smaller restaurants worry they could be shouldered aside by well-connected corporate operations. Who needs the support most desperately, the Big Mac or the small fry? The management of Eleanor Restaurant in Washington wrote on Instagram last week. Jared Bernstein, an economist in the liberal-leaning Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, said well-oiled, bigger enterprises could get to the head of the line for loans that will be allocated on a first-come, first-served basis. At the end of the day, it's going to be very hard to figure out how to help the smallest, most vulnerable businesses. We're in a tsunami here, and some people will get washed away, Bernstein said.
Which creates another perverse incentive, because if you're like, well, maybe I'm good through July, and I think this might, maybe it'll blow over next month, maybe it won't, come July, then I'll reevaluate things. Well, probably not, because it'll probably be gone by then.
Yeah, everyone's
so you have
got
to either do it now or not.
Before Congress could pass the economic stimulus, consultants advised clients to ready their applications for forgivable loans that can turn into grants if the money is used for payroll, rent, and other expenses. We would advise consulting your own preferred lender now, the Berman & Company public relations firm wrote to clients on March 25th, 2 days before President Trump signed the bill into law.
Yeah, let me tell you something about federal loans and forgiveness provisions. They're not real.
What do you mean?
So they're in there, and they say that. They're lying.
Okay, what does it mean to say that there's a forgiveness provision?
Like if it says if you do, so it's structured as a loan, but they're like pretending it's a grant basically, and they say, well, if you do X, Y, Z, in this case, I think it's if you spend it on payroll and rent,
Payroll, rent, and other expenses, according to the article.
Then it's forgiven after like so many weeks.
Wait. So it's free money in that case? So if
that's true.
So if
And that's the way it's written, that doesn't mean that that's true. And I'm sure that's what's in the contract. Also doesn't make it true. There are plenty of people who got burned on that with student loans.
Okay, so what you're saying is if I own one of these small businesses and I somehow am qualified for this and I get this money in, however much it is,
structured as a loan,
20 grand or whatever, 20 grand loan, and I spend it on payroll or those other two things,
rent and other expenses,
then you're saying they're claiming they'll forgive the loan, meaning that I won't have to pay it back, but you're saying that's not true?
That's the claim, and I mean, I can't see into the future any better than you can do, but I know the government's track record on following through with that. And it ain't great.
On other forgivable loans, so-called forgivable loans in the past?
So the people who took the student loans and did the 10-year, if you work for one of our public programs, doctors in short supply areas, public defenders, district attorneys, things like that, then we'll wipe it after 10 years. And people who took that pay hit down to a figure down, they're not being released from that.
So I said you get in bed with a gang, Don't be surprised if you get into some real deep S. More coming up here. 855 450 free like freedom.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Free Talk Live is now on more than 200 radio stations nationwide. We've had more than 18 million podcast downloads, and we claim millions of listens a month. We're a multimedia ad venue with print, email, web, and terrestrial radio marketing platforms. We strive to have ad packages that cater to advertisers big and small. Contact me today at marketfreetalklive.com to see what we can do for you. Marketfreetalklive.com. If you're a local advertiser, contact this station. But if you can service a national audience, contact me, marketfreetalklive.com. The Shire Free Church offers a sanctuary to those seeking an escape from state churches.
The Shire Free Church is an interfaith, diverse group of people that may not share identical theological beliefs. As a member in or minister of the Shire Free Church, you are a sovereign individual and may be the faith of your choice.
We don't claim to have all of the answers.
We are open to all peaceful people.
We want to learn from each other.
What unifies the Shire Free Church and its diverse members is peace,
love,
and liberty. There are many paths to God, one for every individual.
The Shire Free Church does not define a specific path beyond those parameters that must be your foundation.
Peace as your way.
Love as your guide.
And liberty as your light.
Learn more at church.shiresociety.com.
That's church.shiresociety.com. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you receive the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at AnyPayInc.com. AnyPayInc.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
It's Free Talk Live. You can join us here. Toll-free number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We have the Discord call-in line rooms. They're over at discord.lrn.fm. Feel free to join any of those, and then we will talk to you about whatever you want to talk about. That is what we do here on Free Talk Live. With you in the studio tonight, it's Ian,
Melanie,
and Richie Rich.
We're going to go to your phone calls and thoughts. Small business owners may be getting screwed over. Surprise, surprise. by this federal stimulus package because guess what?
Don't sign deals with the devil, literally.
Well, there's
Literally
that.
Don't do that.
Well-connected corporate interests.
But yeah, surprise, the big corporations, they're going to be at the front of the line, basically. And if you get a piece of it, then you may still end up getting screwed because they may not forgive the loans. As Melanie was just telling us, the federal government doesn't have a particularly good track record at actually forgiving the supposedly forgivable loans that they've issued in the past. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe you got to figure out a better way to deal with this nonsense than going to the very same people that caused the problem in the first place. Because if it weren't for the government goons, you could have kept your doors open if you wanted to take that risk.
If you want to take that risk.
Yeah.
That's a big thing, right? Like some companies may have shut down voluntarily amidst the, paranoia.
And if they did, then they would have no one else to blame but themselves.
Right.
But if you didn't shut down until they made you, and in some cases people were like, oh, that's a cute odor you have over here, I'm opening anyway, and then they sent people to actually make you, okay, well then the government is the direct cause of anything that happens after that.
It's true. Let's go to your phone calls and thoughts. Travis, you're listening online in Tennessee. Go ahead, Travis.
Hey, how you doing today?
Hey, good. You're on the air.
I've been listening to you for probably about 2-3 weeks, and you put out good content.
Thanks.
I'm calling in to talk about some things that I have on my mind about cryptocurrency.
Yeah, sure. Let's hear it.
I've been following Bitcoin. I first heard about Bitcoin when it was under $1 on 4chan a long time ago. And
I hope you bought in at that time, because
I didn't, and
I didn't either.
I'm kind of, I kind of like don't. I mean, I like the idea of the Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is too. Bitcoin is not anonymous enough. A lot of the people that worked on Bitcoin was focusing on the software and how to make it more reliable and more secure.
Yeah, and I don't think Bitcoin has ever presented itself as being anonymous, but they do have Monero and Zencash, from what I hear, is supposed to be anonymous.
Some Bitcoin advocates have bandied about the phrase pseudonymous.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, to give the illusion that it's anonymous.
But everybody knows about Bitcoin because Bitcoin was the first.
Bitcoin has the name recognition. There's no doubt about it.
Right.
There was an interesting story that came out this last week. I think Aria covered it on either the Tuesday or Wednesday show, but it was about how somebody did an analysis of the white paper for Monero and compared it to Satoshi Nakamoto, who was the creator of Bitcoin, the anonymous creator of Bitcoin, and they believe that it may have been Satoshi Nakamoto who also came out with Monero.
Interesting.
Now, I don't know if there's any truth to that, but they found a few little bits of evidence that suggest that maybe the writing styles were similar. Yeah. Of course, the Monero person may have purposefully made his writing style sound similar to Satoshi Nakamoto, or maybe it was the same person.
And to be fair, Bitcoin is a lot less anonymous now than it was when it was created.
What do you mean by that?
So when it was created, you didn't have websites where I could just go to this website and just type in your wallet address and see every transaction that you've done.
Yeah, they did. They had that pretty soon out the gate. I mean, it might not have been the first year, but it was pretty early. Those are called what are called block explorers, and that's always been a feature of Bitcoin as far back as I can remember.
Okay. Well,
but what they came out with since then, Melanie, is what they call chainalysis, which is a much more scientific or technical version of that. So any of us can go to blockchain.info, take a Bitcoin address, drop it in there, and look at the history of that address. That's easy to do. But these chainalysis companies can actually trace over time where Bitcoin has gone to over all these different addresses or whatever, and really do a lot of analysis on the history of Bitcoin transactions and who's interacted with who, and graph them and things like that.
The only thing that makes it anonymous is there's no real way to trace the wallet to an individual if the individual doesn't want it to be traced.
That's probably not true on a entity level. So I can't do that. but I'm sure that there are
have a
government agencies
different-
that can.
Go ahead, Travis.
No, because I can create a paper wallet
Oh,
and have
sorry.
someone deposit money into it, and they don't know that I'm in
I have
control
a
of that paper
different.
wallet.
I have an idea for a new type of cryptocurrency.
Okay.
I come up with this idea a couple years ago, and I would be making it, but I have problems reading spelling, so I can't program. You ever heard of quantum entanglement?
Yeah, I've heard of it, but I don't remember what it is. Is that where two things that are linked together like do the same thing across a distance or something like that?
Right. You can have particles that are in a entangled position, and they have spin ups and spin downs. But when you don't know the position of the spin up or spin down on both of them, but when you look at one of them, the other it could be spin up or spin down. But when you look at that one, the other one instantaneously, but is the opposite, faster than the speed of light.
Okay.
Einstein called it spooky action at a distance. I had this idea of a cryptocurrency, a physical coin, a real coin, not a virtual coin, that is entangled with all these other coins, like you make like physical coins, and make a peer-to-peer mesh network. And it'd be like internet. It'd go through the internet. It'd be basically a new type of internet.
Wow, that sounds
And
like
that
way
was-
beyond my ability to really even understand how something like that would work.
Timecube.com.
How you could have a physical coin that was also a cryptocurrency. I mean, they have these with Bitcoin. They have these physical sort of
Physical
collectible
coins,
coins
Cassatious
called
coins.
Cassatious
Right.
coins.
Yeah.
And I think there's been somebody
But-
else who's done it since then. But
But-
those are
but,
those are just physical representations of what's
Right.
on the blockchain, the digital version.
So when this, they're all peer-to-peer mesh network, and they're real-time encrypted. So it'd be a new type of internet, and the value of the currency will be information.
So the
And
coin itself would
if-
have to send out some sort of broadcast and receiving signal.
Sounds really
Right, that's
complicated. I'm not
with
saying it's
quantum
impossible.
entanglement,
It could be
With
possible,
quantum-
Travis. You'll have to let us know if you
Yeah.
ever put it together. And thank you for the call tonight. I appreciate it. The toll-free number is 855-450 free like freedom. Sounds like a really big project.
I think what he was trying to get to with the quantum entanglement is you can control the movement of the coin off-site, because whatever you do away from the coin happens on the coin at the same time. Maybe,
I don't
possibly.
know.
I don't know.
It was getting a little too deep, too out in the weeds for me, man. Toll-free number is 855-450 free. That's 855-450-3733. You can bring up whatever's on your mind. You can take control of the airwaves here on Free Talk Live. Small business owners prepare to get screwed by the federal government. But then again, you should be used to that by now.
Yeah, more so than usual.
Yeah, 855-450 free like freedom. You can join us on the radio here. The live Sunday edition of Free Talk Live continues.
Remember when you first heard about Bitcoin? How long did it take you to realize this little project would soon change the world? Do you kind of wish you had gotten involved sooner? Well, now is your chance to be part of the next revolution in money. Intercoin is working to finally make crypto go mainstream. It's designed to be scalable enough to support everyday payments and even elections without the state. Bitcoin was originally supposed to be a peer-to-peer cash system, the way we would all pay one another without having to trust any third party. But instead, over time, it mostly became a store of value. That's because every 10 minutes, the Bitcoin network must put all transactions into a block, and that block can only hold so much. If crypto is to become mainstream, for everyone to use it in everyday payments, we need a new architecture, one that's as secure as Bitcoin while being far more scalable. Check out intercoin.org to find out more, and maybe pick up some of those coins for yourself.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this, right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world. So I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here. And I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
My name is Jacob Hornberger. I'm president of the Future of Freedom Foundation, which Congressman Ron Paul awarded for having an outstanding freedom website. Write us at fff@fff.org, and we'll send you a free 3-month subscription to our monthly journal of libertarian essays and our booklet, Economic Liberty in the Constitution, which George Mason University economics professor Walter Williams praised in a recent column. That's fff@fff.org.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
Yeah, it's Free Talk Live, the live Sunday edition of the show. You can join us here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. And have you heard of Intercoin? Intercoin is working to make crypto go mainstream. It's designed to be scalable, enough to support everyday payments and even elections without the state. If you missed your opportunity to get in on Bitcoin from the start, then this is your chance to join what might be the next revolution in money. Check out intercoin.org. And if you like what you see, pick up some of those coins for yourself. Just as the internet is a global network that connects local networks, Intercoin is a global currency platform that enables communities around the world to issue and manage their own currency so they may circulate it among their local population. Intercoin enables fintech innovation on the local community level, leading to stronger communities, greater sustainability, less poverty, and more productivity. Check out intercoin.org. And Free Talk Live listeners must know that Free Talk Live received $40,000 worth of tokens by Intercoin Incorporated for this advertising.
So is it scalable down to the quantum level?
I don't know if it supports quantum entanglement. That's a good question. You can go ask Greg that over at intercoin.org.
I don't think it's a coherent question.
Anyway, with you tonight, it's Ian,
Melanie,
and Richie Rich.
Back to your phone calls and thoughts here. We got Jerome. He's in South Carolina. Jerome, you're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead.
What's up, people?
Hey,
I just wanted to say I'm enjoying these press conferences that they put on every day.
Really?
I just want to see how many times Trump blows his stack or he lies. So they can't do like they did in the Senate, where you get a bunch of Pinocchio-nosed lawyers getting up and lying for you, and you don't have to answer any questions, no testimony, no documents, no nothing. We just go with what you tell us to do. Now you got to get up and face the music, and you got to answer questions. And, hey, I'm enjoying the hell out of this, not because of what this country's going through, but because I want to see him answer some questions. That's what I want to see.
What would you ask him if you had the chance?
No, Well, I asked him, why did he say that the COVID-19 was under control? When it wasn't. It never was.
I mean, I'm not here to defend Trump, but I don't think that's a fair question to ask a politician or a business owner, not even a good business owner, because he's not a pathologist. Like, that's a fair question to ask a pathologist.
He's always talking about how smart he is and how right he is. Why does he get after the media when they repeat his own words back to him? He calls them fake news. How can it be fake when those are his very own words? How is that fake?
Yeah, I think Jerome.
I didn't say it was. You'd have to ask him.
I think Jerome might have a point.
I just
on
said he's
one.
not qualified to be answering stuff about new viruses.
But if he's making declarations about new viruses and you ask him to clarify what he's saying, right? You can't give him a pass because he's not qualified. He's put himself out there to make claims.
But if you're the one asking, if I'm like, hey, I have this medical question, you know who I should ask?
The president.
A hotel owner.
Well,
that's
but
what I'm gonna like. No,
but
like,
if the hotel
any answer
owner,
I get, like, that's on me for being stupid.
Okay, that's fair too. But if the hotel owner's out there the one making the claims, and you want to do, well, are you sure about these claims? Go ahead, Jerome.
Did you just hear the comment from Fauci? They asked him, said, what about the comment that the COVID-19 was under control? He said that's a false statement. In other words, he's calling Trump a liar, huh?
Well, are you surprised? I mean, all politicians are liars.
I know. Here we going back to that again.
Except for the Democrats.
Well, wouldn't you
Democrats
agree?
are liars.
Wait a minute. Wouldn't you agree, Jerome, that all politicians are liars?
Look, Korea's best move as a player was his hook shot, and yours is the all politicians are liars, okay?
Because you can't say anything against it,
because
right?
it's unstoppable.
Because it's true.
Okay.
You know it's true.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know. Hey, lots of people lie. But you know what? I once heard a talk show host say, he said lying is not a big deal because everybody lies.
Well, who said that?
This was a talk show host. He said it years ago.
I don't believe you.
He probably doesn't even remember. Yes, he did. He said it on his own radio show.
I don't believe you.
I believe him.
How would you know? Have you watched every talk show episode
I'm
of
suggesting
every show?
that Jerome is lying.
Jerome,
about it.
thank you for the call tonight, man. I appreciate hearing from you. The toll-free number is 855-450, free like freedom. I mean, Jerome was saying he enjoys listening to Trump lie. It's like, I don't want to listen to these politicians.
I will say, like, America season 45, I don't, like, have time to watch every single thing that goes on in that show.
Yeah.
But
Even now?
it is an entertaining show if you can ignore that it's real.
Well, I mean, Trump is entertaining. I don't know if the rest of it is.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's what it is. Like, you don't get to just sit in on, like, the Senate and the Pentagon. That's what you get to watch. So
Well, you can
they
watch
put it
C-SPAN.
on C-SPAN.
Yeah.
So 855-450 free. You know, since you brought up small businesses and these government loans that are going to be given out or allegedly will be given out, but maybe not unless, you know, the other big businesses get them first or however that's going to end up panning out.
The big businesses with small locations.
CNN Business went to apparently Los Angeles and they went and spoke with some small business owners. I guess they hit up one particular block. They picked a block of some businesses and they talked to, I'm sorry. Oh, okay, yeah, Colorado Boulevard in Los Angeles. I thought it was Colorado for a second there. Anyway, they spoke with these business owners and asked them about their hopes and fears right now. So the block and its businesses are very much unique, made up of a group of independently owned stores in the heart of the gentrifying community in eastern Los Angeles. But you could transplant them anywhere in the country, any town, any large city, and the stores would be much the same. Most of the business owners on the block are women, and many are minorities, reflecting a growing trend in the U.S. They went into what they do with a leap of faith and a lot of financial risk, which is typical for business.
Yeah.
Now they're on the brink of ruin. Money may be coming from Washington in the next few weeks, but they may not make it that long. Here are their stories as they told them. Quotes have been edited for length and for clarity. You got Valerie Brown, the owner of Eagle Rock Community Acupuncture, open since 2009. She said she wanted to find a place where she could foresee there being foot traffic, and Colorado Boulevard is great. I signed the lease in 2008. Both these financial times were and are gloomy, that's for sure. I didn't have as much at stake back then. I was moving into a situation where I thought, oh, things are going to be getting better. Now I'm in a situation where things were fine, and now they're getting worse. I'm very attached to my community. When I go to Trader Joe's, I know people. This business has been around for so long, we remember each other. I miss the connection. I feel for all of us shopkeepers. She says, if I know that we're going to be back in business up and running in May, I think I'll have enough to get by. If it takes until June, I still think I could do it, but I'd be awfully nervous. If it doesn't look like we can go back by June, I think I'm going to have to cease this business model because it's just not going to be viable. Now, I'd like to insert here, in a lot of cases, commercial leases are 5-year-long leases. So, that's, as I understand it, pretty standard for a commercial lease. So you have to wonder, these folks that are going to shut down their businesses, how much more time do they have left on their lease after that they are then going to be technically, legally on the hook for? You can't run your business anymore, but you still got 2 more years that you got to legally pay the rent on that property.
Bankruptcy.
Yeah, they're not going to pay that.
Right.
It's going to hit their credit, but they're not going to pay that.
She says she may have to cease the business model because it may not be viable after June. She says, I sure hope that's not the situation. I hope that at some point this year we'll all be back to eating in restaurants, going to the movies, getting community acupuncture. It would be heartbreaking because of all the connections I've made. And, the patients mean a lot to me, and the community means a lot to me. She says,
the only thing preventing that from happening, right, is the government. Right.
She says, I do hope that California will find a way to be lenient with the small businesses and perhaps give us back some of the money that we've prepaid in order to be in business in the year 2020.
Oh, yeah, that's true. You probably had to sign up for your LLC and all your business licenses, and she might have extra quasi-medical licenses that she paid for a year.
Yeah.
And then they were like, oops, can't use it.
Yeah.
So I've got another headline that I didn't put as show prep, but I saw it. It was, local and state governments being hit hard because of the lack of tax revenue that all these businesses are no longer paying. Like all the retail shops, all the
sales
restaurants.
tax revenue is going to dry up.
Right. And so where are
but
they going to
property
get their
taxes
funding?
are still going to be due.
Sure.
Business taxes, business
They could
property
be
taxes.
due all they want. They're not getting that money.
Well, how are the states going to provide essential services with their revenue streams drying up now too?
Yeah, well, the states are going to do what they got to do. They're going to steal your property if they need to, and then auction it off. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, but wouldn't that be nice if the state government actually cared enough to give you back some of the money that you prepaid? Wouldn't that be nice?
Shouldn't have taken it in the first place.
Wouldn't expect it to happen, though. More coming up. It's Free Talk Live.
Cancer categorizes over 100 diseases. Though we do not diagnose, treat, or cure cancer, GCN team is offering the Clemson University study where there was up to a 95% reduction in cancerous cells when exposed to a plant-derived mineral supplement. If you or a loved one are searching for answers to this horrifying disease, come to GCNteam.com or call 877-878-4203. We'll email you a copy for free. That's 877-878-4203.
When you have a pain in the neck, a real pain in the neck, back, shoulder, or legs, you now have 2 convenient choices to get fast relief without taking another pill. Because now, Sunny Bay heating wraps and pillows are available at both Amazon and Walmart. Yes, see Sunny Bay's 4.5 to 5-star customer reviews on Amazon.com or Walmart.com. Our made in the USA microwavable heat wraps, heatable neck pillows, and extra large body wraps are designed better for perfect support where and when you need it. Even while driving, Sunny Bay wraps will not burn and stay balanced to provide soothing hot or cold therapy to help treat temporary or chronic pain. And the best part? Sunny Bay quality products start at under $20. Join thousands of happy customers and see why Sunny Bay products have a lifetime 100% positive rating on both Amazon and Etsy. It's easy. Click Amazon or Walmart and search today for Sunny Bay.
Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon you'll need a plan and place to survive. Forget bunkers. You're not a live underground gopher. You need survivalist camps, the ultimate fully functional, off-the-grid mobile survival bug-out house that's well-equipped and custom-built to outlast any other RV or trailer. Bold statement? You bet. See them now at survivalistcamps.com. That's survivalistcamps.com. Trust your family's survival to survivalistcamps.com.
If you're looking for work, you know the math. There are many more applicants than openings, so you need to stand out, not blend into the blah, blah, blah your interviewer is hearing from your competition. Here's a tip. In your interview, you will be judged more by the questions you ask than the answers you give. Yes, do anticipate the obvious job interview questions and prepare concise, insightful, glass half full sounding responses. And you should interview your interviewer. Seem genuinely curious about what will help get results. With money and attention so scarce now, effective communication skills have never been more important. You want to cut through the clutter. For more tips for job seekers and making all the other conversations you have more productive, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Dial in toll free. Bring up what you want here. Live Sunday edition. We will take your calls and thoughts about whatever's on your mind. Our number, 855-450, free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Talking about the difficulties facing small business owners across the United States. Not just, what's happened because of the government restrictions, but also the supposed bailout that's coming. With you in the studio tonight, you've got Ian.
Melanie.
And Richie Rich.
Also want to let you know about Bitcoin.com because, well, it's probably more important now than it's ever been for you to take the time to actually learn about Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash and cryptocurrencies in general, and Bitcoin.com can help you do that. Go there, learn the basics about it, and get started into the world of cryptocurrency. Really, it's a great time, especially if you find yourself with a bunch of extra time on your hands because you can't go to work because the government's stopping you from doing that. You got a little more time. Put it into researching Bitcoin. Go to Bitcoin.com and get started over there because the government's going to be printing a bunch of money soon, and there's a good chance that that's going to inflate the supply of money. It's likely going to be what happens.
It's almost guaranteed to inflate the supply of money.
What I like to do is diversify my currencies the same way that people who are allowed to make recommendations recommend that you diversify like your stocks and stuff.
Yeah, so I like precious metals and I like cryptocurrency as alternatives. What about you, Melanie?
Crypto, I have BCH, Ethereum, Monero, like what I'm going to call your major cryptos.
I got some Monero recently myself.
And then I don't have gold because gold is like so expensive per small unit. It would have to be like, I'm not going to buy give me like a quarter trip of gold.
Oh,
like,
you need to see the goldbacks.
Yeah.
But
you haven't seen goldbacks yet?
Goldbacks are cost twice spot though.
That's true.
Yeah, well, it's not about goldbacks are about being used, not about just stacking and storing in a safe somewhere. And actually, I thought there was an interesting article at goldback.com which explained that even though the goldback is about twice spot, a little less than twice spot, it's actually the cheapest 1/1000th of an ounce gold product in the world. So when you compare it to other products that may be sort of a similar weight, it's actually the most affordable of all.
But then silver is like you could have silver that you can hold in your hand for a roughly ballpark $20. I know it's not 20 right now, but it's ballpark $20.
Yeah.
So that you could actually have a stack of silver, and that's a much more usable currency than trying to do stuff with gold. Unless you're
I disagree.
Buy,
Goldback is incredibly useful. I've used it to buy food, and I've used it to buy computer hardware, and I've used it to buy cannabis. So it's.
I think the problem you run into with that is still the cost per small amount. Like for bigger purchase, like an ounce of gold, $1,500 is the same size as that $20 silver piece.
Yeah, I mean, gold would be useful if you're going to buy like a car.
No. I just told you. I used gold to buy a little bit of cannabis. I used it to buy some food. I used it to buy a
But
computer
comparatively,
product.
you'd be better off spending silver for those small purchases on the per ounce quantity.
Well, no, it's a real pain in the butt to carry silver around. It's heavy. It takes up a lot more space than gold does. So I can just keep these gold backs in my wallet just like any other bill. And it makes it super easy to buy things. So I recommend people check that out. But we go back to your calls and thoughts here. We got Derek on the line watching us on DLive at dlive.lrn.fm. Go ahead, Derek.
Hey, how you guys doing tonight?
Welcome. You're on the air.
So I live in Florida, but I grew up in Jacksonville, or in South Dakota, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been paying attention to things going on up there because it's one of the few states that, haven't done a statewide stay-at-home, whatever they call it nowadays. But they're actually, I saw a petition on that change.org. It had about, 15 to 20,000 signatures asking the governor to shut down the state.
Pathetic.
So people are literally petitioning to have freedoms taken away. It's a whole new level of begging.
There's one like that in Hawaii too, to shut down the airports.
Yeah, I am really glad I am in New Hampshire. I mean, I'm always really glad I'm in New Hampshire, but I am really glad
New
I'm
Hampshire
in New
did
Hampshire.
it one of the first 5 states.
Compared to the other 49 states, where sometimes you're having cops go and kidnap you if you just walk down the street and they don't know why. Compared to that, and I mean, honestly, a lot of places that are quote supposed to be closed right now aren't. So there's that too.
Oh yeah, it's a lackluster lockdown here in Florida.
Good.
I went to a bunch of stores today. Driving around, streets are full, traffic. It's people are exercising, and I love it. So.
But yeah, you are right.
Stay
There
home
is a
if you
certain
want.
amount of people out there that are literally begging for these restrictions. A fairly large number of people. I thought I had a story about the numbers tonight, but I don't see it in front of me, so maybe I forgot to bookmark it.
So I just figured I'd give you guys that, and I'll let you guys have that.
Hey,
So
good
have a
call.
great
Thanks,
night.
Derek. I appreciate hearing from you, man.
So I had a conversation with Ken Schoolin again yesterday on my podcast, The Anarchist Experience.
At anarchistexperience.com.
Right. And so I'm talking to him about what could be done as far as a protest, because the government is far overreaching on this whole coronavirus shutdown. How do you fight back against that and still be, safe and healthy in what you're doing?
Well, safe from, because you said and healthy. So you're talking about safe from the cold or safe from the state?
If you're concerned about actually catching the virus, right, how do you violate the lockdown orders and still not catch the virus? Is like the specifics of my question.
Well, yeah, so if you're afraid of going outside, you can't violate the don't go outside order without going outside.
I understand that, but there has to be a way for people who are against the state, right, and don't want the lockdown, but are also concerned about getting the virus and getting sick and dying.
Well, you put up plexiglass at the cash register. Have your cashiers wear gloves and change them out regularly. Have them sanitize countertops in places.
That's from a
that
business
people
perspective.
Touch. I thought that was what you were asking.
No, just the individuals, right? Like if I want to violate the stay-at-home order, and I'm concerned about catching the coronavirus by going out and interacting in groups larger than 10, right? What do I do?
Wear a mask.
Fine.
Stay away from people.
That's a fair answer. But what the response that I got from Ken was basically this is not the time to protest.
Oh, he's one of those guys.
No. Because you want to protest in such a way that you will garner public support for your protest.
Right. So as long as the public hates freedom, you should never protest.
I'm not ever going to garner public support for anarchy. So then I'm getting to the point where I don't see how I can care about public support.
I said 99%. He said 90%. I'm like, fine, 90%. Right? 90% of people, like the general public out there, supports the government lockdown.
I don't know if it's 90%.
What? Throw out a number.
It's high. It's way higher.
I heard
than
it was like 3/4.
Expected.
Yeah,
75%,
80%, 75%.
It's
still a high number.
Majority.
It's a lot.
So how do you make your protest look like you're the good guy then? If you're going to go out there and violate the stay-at-home order.
Well, I don't know where Ken Schoolin has been, but libertarianism has never been popular in the United States.
Well,
so any
his goal is to
libertarian
make it more popular. How do you make it more popular?
You can't. I mean, all you can do is you can attract the people who are ready to hear your message. You can try to influence other people who might be willing to listen, but it's still going to take them time to kind of overcome whatever objections they may have and learn about the ideas that we're presenting. I mean, we've been on the air for more than a decade, almost 2 decades on Free Talk Live, and it's not like, our show's taken off with popularity or anything like that. Libertarianism, even though it's a moral viewpoint, and even though it's a consistent and logical viewpoint, does not appeal to most people.
Understood.
And it probably never will. I mean, I wish that it did. I wish that it was something where people came across it and were like, yeah, I'm with you guys. But it's very rare that happens.
Yeah, and I until recently, I didn't realize quite how delusional I was being about that.
Really?
Because at first it was like, oh, I never thought about that. Everyone must want to know this. And I found out really quickly that was not the case. But then I still had this, well, if we convince people,
but then
they'll be with us. But that's people are literally begging for a lockdown. I can't fix that.
In this case, yes, but there are certain areas, like police abuse being one of them, where you can get public support, right? When you go out there and you point out what the police are doing, you video the bad actions, you can show the public and say, like, this is what the state is doing, this is why you should be on our side. And a lot of people, more people than than in this case, will say, like, yeah, that's terrible. Mm-hmm. The police should not be doing that, and something needs to change.
But they're still not against the police. They're like, oh, well, this is this one
an isolated incident.
Or that they can change the system.
Not all cops. Like, no.
Right.
Or maybe they think there's a lot of police that are bad, but they think that they can change the system to make it better.
Yeah, like
they
their
just need to
problem is
create
still
a
not
board.
with the system. Their problem was with, that particular employee of the police department should be fired.
Well,
or
they
whatever.
may be able to identify that there's rife corruption across the police department, but they still think the system can be changed in a way that can solve it.
But in this case,
think
they
that
like the system the way it is and want it stronger.
You're talking about in the
COVID
current case.
Yeah.
Right. Well, but there's still some people who care about like doing their own thing, right? There's still parties that are happening. Yeah. They're being broken up. We had a guy, Makona, in our Discord chat who's saying that in New York City, there's a lot of people still getting together for barbecues and parties in larger numbers than they're allowed to get together. So there's definitely still some people out there. They're a minority, but then again, we can only really appeal to minorities. Let's talk further about it in hour 2 coming up.
Do you want to work from home, get paid, and forward liberty all at the same time? Free Talk Live is looking for account executives and appointment setters. If you've got a phone, a computer, internet connectivity, initiative, and a belief in the non-aggression principle, you're qualified. Earn up to $85,000 a year full-time, $25,000 a year part-time. Set your own hours, work from home, spread freedom. Join our team and work with one of the biggest leaders in the liberty movement. Apply now at sales.freetalklive.com. Sales.freetalklive.com.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you receive the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at AnyPayInc.com. AnyPayInc.com.
Is oral health important to you? If you don't like your own teeth, fresh breath, or kissing people, then by all means stop listening. Several years ago, I met Jessica Armand, founder and CEO of My Magic Mud, and I became passionate about the product that she created and never want to live without it. It's clinically proven to whiten teeth, but I find it does much more. They want you to love My Magic Mud as much as I do, so they're giving you a money-back guarantee plus 20% off. Go to mymagicmud.com and use coupon code FTL20 at checkout. mymagicmud.com, FTL20.
The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,628, silver at $14.41, and Bitcoin is trading around $6,702. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, according to a new report from the New York Times, Americans bought nearly 2 million guns last month as the country slowly went into lockdown. Activist Post reports it's the second highest sales numbers ever seen in the U.S. for firearms, surpassed only by the January after then U.S. President Barack Obama's re-election, which was also when the Sandy Hook shooting occurred. And while more guns were sold in January 2013, the numbers are actually extremely close, with roughly 2 million guns sold during each time period. The data used in the report from the Times was based on the number of background checks reported by the FBI. So it's likely that the actual numbers are even higher, because background checks are not required in every state. The FBI has been tracking monthly gun sales in the U.S. since 1998. This week, U.S. President Donald Trump included gun stores, shooting ranges, and firearm and ammunition manufacturers in a list of essential businesses that can remain open during the lockdown. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. There were dramatic scenes at an airport in Shanghai, China, as U.S. agents hijacked a plane full of life-saving equipment, including 60 million masks, bound for coronavirus-stricken France. While the plane was on the tarmac, American agents managed to bribe locals into diverting the plane to the United States, plying them with cash. Minpress News reports it appears to not be an isolated incident. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau revealed that he had received similar reports of goods being seized and taken to the United States. Brazil, one of the U.S.'s most loyal allies, also broke with convention to criticize the Trump administration's pandemic gangsterism. President Trump spent weeks claiming that the virus was a liberal hoax intended to dent his credibility, then downplayed the seriousness of the problem, before changing tack and blaming China for the thousands of dead. Amidst a COVID-19 outbreak, around 100 detained migrants at a private for-profit prison in Farmville, Virginia, have collectively gone on hunger strike, demanding their release on medical and humane grounds. Minpress News reports that's according to Sanctuary DMV, a volunteer organization helping immigrants in the Washington, D.C. area. Phone lines to the dorms have been cut, and visits have been suspended. Inmates claim that one dorm is under strict quarantine. The move comes in response to the inaction of Attorney General William Barr. Detainees at ICA Farmville had sent him a letter March 25th pleading to be released, but they received no reply. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Jack Daniels announced today its plan to start marketing directly to children, adding, quote, "Why not?" Executives for the whiskey company told reporters that they've already slated dozens of television spots showing 10-year-old children drinking tumblers of Jack and Coke in playgrounds, and that the company was planning on, quote, "just seeing how it all played out."
Every year, Jack Daniels sells millions of dollars of great American whiskey to men and women all over the world. So, for our next ad campaign, we basically just thought, hey, why not just start marketing this stuff straight to 10-year-olds? I mean, if they catch us, but we'll see how far it goes, and hopefully we can sell some alcohol along the way. Sure, some parents' groups could get upset, especially if we go with our idea of moms serving their kids cranberry Jack at snack time. But
in other news, a doomed rabbit will teach an 8-year-old a lesson about responsibility, and a torrent of soap issues from a wildly unexpected part of the dispenser. Well, that was it. It's all downhill from here, bud. For more, visit theonion.com.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It's Free Talk Live, and you are invited to join us on the radio. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We have the Discord call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm. With you tonight is Ian,
Melanie,
and Richie Rich.
We got more on the small business owners that are hurting, and they're hurting bad because of, well, not because of COVID-19, but because of the government's tyrannical response mandating that people can't go to work if they want to. They can't take a risk if they want to.
And on the flip side, I don't know if you've read the order from New Hampshire.
I've read a couple.
So
there's 25 of them. Which one are you referring to?
The 717.
717, order number 17?
Order number 17.
That's the one that's the stay-at-home order that you're referring to.
Yeah, and it also closes all the businesses, so it
Except
says,
for the so-called essential
right,
business.
but it says the following businesses shall continue to operate. So he actually mandated
That's
a bunch
right.
of places to stay open too.
And mandated those places must follow the social distancing guidelines as implemented by the CDC, which may be where some of these rules are coming from. It may not be the business owners who are implementing them themselves or because their employees want it. They may be doing it because they're afraid of what the government will do, like putting up plexiglass. I don't know if that's one of the requirements.
A lot of it is, I think that they could think they can. If I was these people's lawyer, I would probably, and I'm not a tort lawyer, I would probably recommend they do some silly stuff just to be like,
show
well,
something.
we did procedures to lessen this. So
not that you would want to, but if you were a business, what would happen if you closed down? Right? If you're one of these essential
They force you to open up.
I don't know.
How do they do that?
I don't know that he knows that's what he did.
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact,
true.
I kind of suspect that he doesn't.
Okay.
Let's go to the phones here. I got Mark on the line here in South Carolina. He's been waiting patiently, listening to WTMA there in Charleston. Go ahead, Mark.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, you're on the air.
First off, I want to say if Congress moves that fast on an 800-page bill that ain't none of them read, they've unleashed another virus on us that's going to hit us in the second wave. But what I had heard on the small business thing is if they want to get the forgiveness for the loan, they got to rehire all of their people back. And the odds of that, because a lot of those people probably going to be moved on, then they don't get the forgiveness. So it's void.
You
right
don't
there.
have to get your same people back. So if somebody quits, I don't think that disqualifies you, but you can't make changes to your payroll. So you have to continue to pay out the same amount of payroll, but that's odd because you might also be ordered to not operate. So I don't know if they want you to pay these people for free but you're still on the hook for the loan if it doesn't get fully. So I don't know.
So you have to keep the same amount of payroll.
That's what it says.
But even if let's say you were allowed to operate, but your business is down by half, you're supposed to keep the same payroll throughout some amount of time.
And this is what I was saying about you, don't sign government.
If you're anticipating having that loan become a grant, then yeah, you pay your people to stay home, and then it's not really coming out of your personal pocket or the business pocket. It's coming out of the government stimulus money. No, I mean, by written rule, right? You keep the same payroll,
and that's all presuming they honor their agreement, which they may not.
That's the maybe.
Yeah. Mark, what else you got to share? Go ahead.
Yeah, but I mean, you're still gonna be like if they don't give you forgiveness, then you're then you're more in the hole than you were before.
Then you're really up S Creek without a paddle.
Yeah.
Take your chances
else?
one way or the other with the state handout, state grants.
Thanks for the call, dude. I appreciate your thoughts. Toll-free number 855-450-FREE. So we were talking about the difficulty of being a libertarian in a society full of obedient serfs.
And now around other libertarians.
Who are now afraid to do anything at all because they don't want the obedient serfs to get mad at them, right?
Something like that.
And I've heard even from other libertarians, people who I would have considered libertarians up until now, well, if you go outside, you're committing aggression because some people are vulnerable to this. I'm like, it's not aggression. Like, if you want to just stay in your house, that's not aggression. Like, you can make that
But they have a right to the
option.
public space. We all have a right to the public space.
Right. So that what they're saying is they have a right to go out, but not encounter any chance of encountering a virus.
Or any type of danger at all.
Yeah.
Right?
And these are libertarians who are making this argument.
It's a quote-unquote libertarians at this point.
Isn't this sad? It's so sad.
I think so.
I consider myself a pessimist, but I'm even surprised. So
what would you say as far as the libertarians? Because you guys are on the Facebook. I'm not on there, and that's where I've heard that a lot of this activity is from these people. Is there any way to get an idea of what percentage of the libertarians are taking the statist side on this?
if I had a ballpark, 10-20% of libertarians actively taking that side.
But you don't
Although
know the ones that won't speak, right?
Right.
My collection, or whatever you want to call it, of libertarians on the internet is not an unbiased sample.
Right.
I tend to have more of the radical right libertarians.
Right.
So
I've had conversations with 3 quote-unquote libertarians, of the ones willing to engage, right? At least 3 of them in, a private group have taken the state side of, the people should not gather. You should not go outside. One guy even considered it like me a walking biological weapon going down the street, and that's an aggressive act in and of itself.
So therefore, he has the right to shoot you.
Yeah, but
right?
Yeah, could be the Philippines.
That argument might have been made by somebody, but the only way that's a danger to you is if you're also on the street. So that makes no sense.
But right, that's what they're saying is they have a right to be there and not have any risk. Isn't that essentially what they're saying? I should be able to share that space, but only with people who present no risk whatsoever.
Which, in this day and age, with the COVID thing going around, is impossible.
It was also impossible prior to COVID because there's all kinds of viri and things that can be caught that you wouldn't know if somebody had, and they may not even know if they had, and you're both in the same place together. I mean, my God, have you ever been to a convention before? These are petri dishes of places where germs get spread around.
Right.
You frequently will get sick after going to conventions.
I don't know how common it is for people to go on to conventions on a regular basis, but anywhere you go, there are people there.
Yes.
Well, tech conventions, comic book conventions, sporting events.
Libertarian conventions.
There you go, libertarian conventions.
People touching each other, shaking hands, being in close proximity to one another, talking to each other, sharing, the fruit punch bowl, and all kinds of things like that.
Having a potluck.
Yeah.
This is a conversation again that I had with Ken Schoolin last week, where he basically made the claim that yes, if there were physically a way, if it was practical to trace the virus back to you, let's say you were sick, Ian, you didn't know, I got sick, and I went, man, I wonder who got me sick. If there were a way to trace that back to you, you should be held liable.
What even would be damages for that?
Even though you didn't take whatever precautions would be necessary, like wearing a mask and sanitizing yourself constantly or whatever.
I say, from my perspective, the personal responsibility is on me to protect myself.
Totally agree.
They're saying personal responsibility is on you. You must take personal responsibility to not infect anybody else by going out and congregating. I go, no, dude. If I'm worried about getting sick, I need to take care of myself. If you're worried about you getting sick, you need to take care of yourself. If you're worried about me getting you sick, stay away from me. Don't put yourself in a risky situation.
I totally agree. You stay right inside your house, and you can order whatever you want from DoorDash or Uber Eats or Instacart, and there's these people who will come, and from what I understand, they just leave it on your front porch. You don't even have to touch them.
People have this also weird I can't see it, so it didn't happen thing going on with restaurants. It's like, do you know how many people touch your food at a restaurant?
Yeah.
Because they're not sitting there using the force, being like, okay, let me move the pizza into this box. Like, they have to actually physically pick it up.
Right.
Even if it's with a tray, they're touching
Well,
the tray.
there are some people who do understand that, and they are refusing to eat out or refusing to order restaurant food, and they're only cooking their own food at home.
They should always stay away from restaurants then.
Yeah.
Like, I've worked in restaurants back of the house.
Right.
Like, we do our best, but, it's stuff
humans.
happens. Yeah, it's humans.
So I think this is an interesting thing because there's, yet again, another schism within the liberty movement here between people like us who are willing to take some risk and who see it's our responsibility to be safe. And then these other people who are acting like you're some walking time bomb walking around and that, somehow that they should not be able to stay at home if that's what they want to.
I come out to Keene for the sanity.
There you go. 855 450 free like freedom. You can bring up whatever you want here and take control of the airwaves on Free Talk Live.
When we adopted Buddy, who is a lab, we didn't know that he can't eat like a normal dog. He has to eat sitting up. The vets said just put him down. His life expectancy maximum is 3 years. Well, he's 6 years old now, and I attribute most of that to Dinovite and a lot of love. DINOVITE.com. I heard about Dinovite on the radio and started mixing it in with his food, and it's changed everything.
Dinovite is nutrition.
Yes, he has a nice shiny coat. Yes, it helps with keeping a good, healthy weight on him. He's happy, he's healthy, and he's going to be with me for a long time because of Dinovite.
Dinovite for life.
We take him to the vet now, and they can't believe it. I love my dog. I want him happy and healthy, so I give him Dinovite.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
I get my Dinovite from DINOVITE.com.
Free Talk Live is now on more than 200 radio stations nationwide. We've had more than 18 million podcast downloads, and we claim millions of listens a month. We're a multimedia ad venue with print, email, web, and terrestrial radio marketing platforms. We strive to have ad packages that cater to advertisers big and small. Contact me today at mark@freetalklive.com to see what we can do for you. mark@freetalklive.com. If you're a local advertiser, contact this station. But if you can service a national audience, contact me, mark@freetalklive.com. The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
Free Talk Live.
Some people actually need laws to know what the hell to do.
I don't think that's true. No, I have to disagree with you. There's only one law that people need to know, and that is do no harm. As long as you aren't hurting other people or stealing their stuff or damaging their property, then you are being law-abiding, because that's the one great natural law as far as I'm concerned. That's what, in fact, when they say, well, you know how they love to say this in court, ignorance of the law is no excuse. Well, that phrase came about when that was the law, when that was pretty much the only concept you had to get, was that you don't hurt other people. Get it? Ignorance of that law, there's no excuse to ignore that law. That makes sense. But to say that ignorance of all these tomes and tomes and tomes of legislation that we have out there, that there's no excuse for that, of course there's an excuse.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and our main feed that includes everything. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
There are basically two types of advertising, direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You can bring up whatever you want here. Toll-free number 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We got the Discord call-in line rooms. They're over at discord.lrn.fm. Here tonight, it's Ian,
Melanie,
and Richie Rich.
Also, want to let you know about Liberty.menu. It is exclusively for individuals who reject the initiation of force and those who agree to abide by the ethics of the non-aggression principle. Although not all libertarians agree to what that even means these days. But if you are a freedom lover, you should get on over to Liberty.menu. You can list your business there. You got digital content you're the creator of. You can list that too. You can rate and review other people's listings. There's a bit of a social network you can connect and share with others at Liberty.menu. And you can use code FTL, get a special Free Talk Live listener badge for your profile there. That's Liberty.menu. We go back to your phone calls and thoughts. First up, Kenneth is in Michigan. Kenneth, you're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead.
Yes, hello, Free Talk Live.
Welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you for taking my call here. I'm from Escanaba, Michigan.
All right.
And we just would like to report on Free Talk Live the wonderful wisdom of Gretchen Whitmer here.
Is this the state governor?
Oh, yeah, the state governor, Governor Gretchen Whitmer. Okay, they've ordered all non-essential businesses closed. And listen to this. They don't even define what a non-essential business is right here.
Really?
But,
well, if anybody needs an argument, I'll give them one.
And so forth were closed.
What was closed? I'm sorry, I missed what you said there.
There were the taverns, restaurants, and everything were closed. And a lot of restaurants remained open for takeouts.
Right.
And so forth. And there was a situation in Rapid River Knife Works was closed, and so ordered closed because they termed that non-essential. So when they went so they said, okay, we'll close it. We'll respect the governor's order. And they said, but we'll keep it open for making face masks. Now listen to this. The state of Michigan, and along with other states, is crying, for state masks up and down. And guess what? They stayed open. They were making face masks. Just about over this weekend, the state police come over there to shut them down.
Wow.
And so we've contacted the representative, the state representative, Matthew Bo Lefebvre, and the state senator here, Edward McGroom, has been contacted, and we're going to find out this week what's going on. They were making face masks over there. They did shut down the other business. They're making face masks.
Did the state police know that they were making face masks?
And the state police come over there and turn around and shut them down. So
yeah, were they aware that they had retooled their business to make face masks, though, or did they presume that they were still making?
I don't know, but we're going to get on this weekend over here and find out. But that goes to show you this is getting all blown out of proportion.
It's madness.
And I'm a constitutionalist. I'm involved a lot of times in First Amendment issues, Second Amendment, and other things. I'm a constitutionalist, and I think this is all unconstitutional. It's way blown out of proportion.
Yeah, it absolutely
is. And the government has overstepped their authority like nobody's business.
Well, but the question is, what can you do about it?
Well, what can we do about it? We got to
petition for redress.
People have got to get together, and we have to restore constitutional government here.
How?
Our government is getting to be more tyrannical all the time. We have to restore constitutional government.
What's step one? How do you do that?
Well, I don't know. I guess the people are going to have to get together and wake up.
Get the people behind you.
But so far, the people seem to be pretty obedient serfs who do whatever it is they're told to do.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. If they keep on doing that, they're going to get what they vote for. So.
Thank you, Kenneth, for your call.
The problem is you also get what they vote for.
Yeah, that is a problem. Listening there to WCHT, by the way, in Escanaba. Appreciate hearing from you tonight. Let's talk to Gary. He's in Indiana. You're on Free Talk Live. Hello, Gary.
Hey, how are you folks today?
Hey, what's on your mind tonight?
I was just thinking about, I don't know, I was driving along, I actually took a drive to nowhere, and I felt like I was breaking the law or something. Our governor has us on a stay-at-home order, and I was just thinking about relationship-wise, what kind of mental damage that all this does. I know the virus is bad. I get it. But relationship-wise, the governor is now saying, well, hang on for 2 weeks, don't have contact with anyone, other than your family. If you have a family, that's great. But if you have a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, okay, I can't see that person for 2 weeks. We'll just hang on 2 weeks. And now, yesterday, 2 more weeks. You're going to have to wait 2 more weeks. And,
just
and
violate
how many
the
more
order at
2
some
weeks
point.
do we have to go? And my thought, and as crass as it may sound, the governor has suddenly determined when I can and can't have sex.
I mean, that is ultimately the
friend.
level of control that they would like to have over people. I don't think there's much that they can do if you have a girlfriend and you're going to her house.
Right.
There's not much that they can probably do to you about that. Now, again, every governor's orders may differ somewhat, but I know that here in New Hampshire, you are still allowed to be with your significant other.
No, it doesn't. It says spouse, children, and parents.
Well, what if you're if you're in the same domicile though? Like if you live together?
If you live with them, then you could stay with the people who are already living with you. But if you're either religious or you weren't that far along in your relationship, or for whatever other reason you're not living with that person.
Well, you can live with that person by going to their house, and then you're living there.
If you're going to stay there the whole time, I guess, but
you just get evicted every night and sign a new lease the next morning.
Based on the order.
Well, but you
in
can.
New Hampshire.
I mean,
you can.
You can.
But it's illegal.
In New Hampshire, now look, I don't know about I don't know about Indiana, but in New Hampshire, there's a particularly sort of wide loophole on this order that you can kind of drive a Mack truck through, which basically says, and I don't have it sitting in front of me right now, but it essentially says whatever the individual decides is an essential need.
I think it says like essential errands or something like that.
No. It actually, it's like this wide. I'll pull it up for you, Melanie. Anyway, but Gary, if you really wanted to, you could probably go there without getting pulled over. But that said, I think you do bring up a legitimate concern, not just about people that already have significant others, but what about people who don't? What about the people that have no real friends of which to speak, or maybe they're new in a place and they haven't made any friends yet, or whatever? They have no way of going out and meeting people. They can't go to a meetup group. They can't go to a bar. They can't go to however it is that people meet people these days. They can't do it.
Just got to wait it out.
And and being alone, being locked up in a facility is against your will is generally considered to be torture. If you are in solitary confinement in a jail, for instance, that is considered to be torture in a lot of jurisdictions across the world. And essentially, that's what people have been put into. Yeah, you can go out in the jail yard for a walk if you want to. Most of the states will still allow some amount of exercise.
Well, that's going to be a weird thing too, right? Because you could go out for a walk and maybe happen across someone, right? Strike up a conversation with the stranger. But even if you go out for a walk now, like no one wants to be within 6 feet of you.
Yeah, you're supposed to say 6 feet. According to the order, you're supposed to say 6 feet away when you're doing anything outside.
And you get funny looks if you get any closer than that.
Ridiculous. Gary, thanks for your call. I appreciate your thoughts and the concerns as well. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. You can bring up whatever's on your mind here and take control of the airwaves. This is Free Talk Live.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
The political world is a maddening cesspool of corruption and lies. Nobody tells the truth. Nobody keeps campaign promises. Nobody obeys the Constitution. Nobody puts the people first. How can we ever escape this web of tyranny? Vote for nobody.
Hi, my name is Nobody. I'm running for governor of New Hampshire because nobody knows how to live your life better than you do, and nobody deserves that kind of power. I want to put you back in control of your money, your lifestyle, your work, your body, and your life. Nobody should rule you but you. New Hampshire convicts many people of so-called crimes that should never have been prosecuted. If elected, I will pardon every victimless crime in New Hampshire history. This includes drug, gambling, prostitution, gun, and driving offenses. Nobody should have a criminal record when they have not harmed anybody.
Wouldn't it be nice to have nobody telling you what to do? Learn more at electnobody.com. electnobody.com.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveatpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveatpurse.com. What if you want to hear the latest episode of Free Talk Live, but all you have is your phone, you forgot to download our archive, and you have no data connection? You can call our Listen line at 641-793-0191. That's a long-distance number, so you may incur charges. If not, listen as long as you want. 641-793-0191. The Free Talk Live Listen line, 641-793-0191. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Live video of our key New Hampshire-based shows is streamed on DLive. Please follow and share at dlive.lrn.fm. That's dlive.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live, you join us here if you want. On the radio, you can talk about whatever's on your mind. Our number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. It's 855-450-3733. You can also call us on the Discord on-air call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm. Up into one of those rooms, we'll join you there. You'll sound almost like you're sitting here in the studio with us tonight. It's Ian,
Melanie,
and Richie Rich.
The Next Generation Wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to spend, earn, store, and exchange digital money in seconds. Divvy says you'll be able to send money around the globe in only a swipe and instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat currencies like the dollar in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. There's no need to wait, though, as Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with their multi-tiered masternodes, allowing anyone to earn by supporting the Divvy network. When the new Divvy wallet launches because of Divvy's relationship with Western Union, Divvy will be in 200 countries, including the United States. You can learn more at diviproject.org, DIVI project.org. as we continue with more of your calls and thoughts. But Melanie, I did say I would pull up at least this is New Hampshire. This is the emergency order that you mentioned earlier, number 17, which is the stay-at-home order that orders businesses to close unless they're so-called essential. And in New Hampshire's case, the last caller was saying that his state didn't have, or a previous caller was saying his state didn't have a list of what is and is not essential.
Yeah, it was poorly defined.
In New Hampshire, there's an exhaustive list of things. But on this particular order, it says that New Hampshire citizens shall stay at home or in their place of residence with the following exceptions. And then they talk about how you can get fresh air or exercise, providing that you so-called socially distance. You can do outdoor recreations. You can leave home to run essential errands, such as going to the grocery store, pharmacy, laundromat, or fulfilling any other errands an individual determines to be essential for everyday needs.
Yeah, that's what I said. It has to be an errand.
Okay, well, that's everything.
I don't know that you can go to court and argue that banging your girlfriend counts as an errand.
Sure you can.
She needed my services.
Well, that's a whole other crime.
But then, there's other ones about you can visit a spouse, parent, or child. That's the one you were referring to there. Leaving home to provide care for another person also could be considered.
Well, that's what I did tell somebody the other day.
Person.
So it's legal. Under this order, it's legal to go to your girlfriend's house and bang them as long as you bring them groceries, which otherwise would be bordering on prostitution.
Under E, giving them care. That's care. You're taking care of them in bed.
It's a sexual need.
That is absolutely it's a caring service. Unless you're, doing a hate F, which I don't recommend. That doesn't sound like a good time. So, and then you can leave home to go and take out food and Amazon, UPS, FedEx, Postal Service.
But that had occurred to me, and it's weird because there is this quasi-constitutional right to sleep with whoever you want, basically.
Well, there's the constitutional right of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
I know, but that's not as fun, right?
Yeah.
So
why does there need to be a constitutional right to sleep with whoever you want?
Because there used to be most states that would outlaw things like that, and then birth control didn't used to be legal everywhere. Okay. So they had to have all these Supreme Court cases that were like, okay, well, married couples can use birth control. Well, but then equal protection, so everybody can use birth control. Oh, well, okay, well, now you can't make fornication illegal, and it was like a whole thing.
Also, we've for, by the way, years, this isn't new, I'd just like to point this out, for many years we have said to our listeners that you are welcome to be a reporter for Free Talk Live. So anytime you want to get in as media somewhere, or you're going to some kind of an event and you want to be a reporter for Free Talk Live, anyone can call into this show and report on whatever they want to do.
Didn't you also have press badges available, like templates to be made?
I do not, but I found a website the other day that has one, and it's really great. I printed one out for myself. But anyway,
well, why don't you have to have a printer that prints on plastic? That was the problem I was having.
No, you just print it on a piece of paper and then put it in a little holder.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, my point was going to be that in most states, I suspect, certainly in New Hampshire, and I think in a lot of others, media is given an exemption to this. It's considered to be an essential service. So if you need to go somewhere and do something and they're harassing you about it or something, just tell them you're a reporter. And if they ask, you can say with a nationally syndicated talk show.
Yep.
So now I don't agree with speaking to the police. Personally, if they start to harass me, I'm going to not answer their questions. But for a lot of people, they want to have an answer. They want to have something that they can say. That's a true statement. You're not telling a lie. You're a reporter for Free Talk Live if you want to be.
Well, and now, again, with the coronavirus thing, you're going to need to answer the cops if you're stopped, because they're going to want to know if what you're doing out and about is essential, falls within a category. Are you clear?
But that's just the thing. What if you don't answer any of their questions?
Well, then you put yourself at risk for arrest.
Well, you're always at risk for arrest with the police. Yeah. But what if you don't answer their questions? Because you're not obligated to answer their questions even under an emergency situation, right?
They would have, at that point, even though none of this is constitutional, right?
Yeah.
They would have probable cause at that point to arrest you for violating the order.
If you don't speak.
Yes.
If you say, I don't answer questions, it's my right to remain silent.
Yeah. Practically, you're going to get arrested. Mm-hmm. You're going to have a court date. You'll likely win in court, right? Because it's ridiculous. Who knows?
Well, I don't know that you had a jury for that. Because I don't think
they're sure as I'm not going to give you a jury during all this. They're not having jury trials right now.
Yeah, even people in jail waiting for court dates don't have jury trials coming
Cantwell
up.
just got his thing pushed off 2 more months.
Right. But if you take it to court, again, I've been railroaded in court. any number of times. But if you take it to court, they're going to have to prove that what you were doing was not essential, right? And at some point,
how would they know what you were doing if you didn't tell them?
They don't. That's the thing. So if you don't tell them, they can't prove that what you were doing was not essential. So you should win in court, but you're going to give up your liberties on the spot.
I mean, I've never had to deal with this. The closest thing I've ever had to come to dealing with this was Katrina, and honestly, as much as I don't want to say it, it was not this bad in reality.
This is bad.
So I don't know that that's what's going to be the reality of the situation if they're going to be the ones that have to prove that you were doing something non-essential.
Let's go to the phones. Jay is in Sacramento. You're on Free Talk Live. Hello, Jay.
Yes, hello. Thank you. At a time when there's a lot of conflicting information flying around, I would like to be a reporter for you and report in a bit of information.
Yes, please.
I am in the Sacramento area, and my girlfriend is a high-level nurse in one of the biggest hospitals in the city of Sacramento, right downtown.
Okay.
I'd prefer not to name the place, but she works there, and in her 20 years of working there, she is just now experiencing 2 times in 1 week when they called her and said, go ahead and take the night off. We don't need you. We're overstaffed, because there are too few patients. And the place is dead. There's almost nobody in there. She's sending me photos of the ambulance bay. No ambulance is pulling up. The ER is empty. The ICU has 1 patient in it now with not related to the virus. And in the past 2 weeks, they've had 1 COVID patient in the ICU, an elderly woman, put her on a respirator. She recovered and went home.
Yeah,
And
that's
this is
interesting because somebody had emailed me. There's a YouTube channel where people are going, apparently, I didn't watch it, but I've heard people who've talked about this, where they're going into hospitals with video cameras and recording how empty some of them are.
There's a local guy here that's done it. I've seen his personal video.
I don't know. I don't trust them either. And even if what they're saying is true, I don't care. I don't know that contradicts what they're saying, because they're not saying every hospital is currently overrun. So I don't know that.
No, but they're trying to make it sound like they are. In the media, they're trying to make it sound like
there's not enough hospital beds.
There's not enough ventilators. There's not enough hospital beds.
Well,
they need to build extra hospitals.
I've heard. Well, they do need to build extra hospitals because they've been
apparently they don't, because there's a bunch of them that are empty.
Because they've been artificially restricted in building them. But
well, yes, you mean overall, generally in certain areas, yes.
So, but
not because of this.
The only claim I've heard from the media is that it's going to be overrun if we don't have fascism, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that they're not currently overrun with the fascism doesn't really conflict with their claim.
Jay, I want to thank you for sharing that. Anything else you want to throw out there?
Just one last point. And I think the fact that you all are so objective and fair is one reason why you have great credibility, and I thank you for your program. I held my nose and watched an establishment interview with Bill Gates today.
God.
Hold
on, Jay. I want you to tell me about this, because I've heard this Bill Gates guy wants to lock people down big time in a way they haven't even been yet. I'm sure you can tell us about it. If you can stand by, we'll bring you back. The toll-free number is 855-450, free like freedom. You can join us here because he made DOS, so therefore he should know everything. It's Free Talk Live.
Hi, I'm Dr. Joel Wallach, the Dead Doctors Don't Lie guy. There's no reason why you shouldn't live to be at least 100 and have a great time getting there. And I'm going to give you a free copy of my lecture that tells you exactly how to do it. In fact, after you've lived a long and healthy life, there should be only 2 documents in your medical chart, a birth certificate and a death certificate. I'm Dr. Wallach with a warning. If you have a 4-inch medical chart, if you take prescription drugs for high cholesterol, high blood pressure, arthritis, joint pains, and other health issues, the medical profession is failing you. They're using you for an ATM machine. My free lecture is going to reveal what pharmaceutical companies don't want you to know. There's been groundbreaking research and discoveries on how to effectively treat or eliminate over 900 different diseases naturally, and it's all in my free lecture called Deadly Recipe. So call toll-free 1-855-79-YOUNG. Again, that's toll-free 1-855-79-YOUNG. 1-855-79-YOUNG.
Let me ask you something. What are you doing when you put money in a 401k or IRA? Or store jumper cables in your vehicle, or purchase health insurance? You're preparing. You're preparing to ensure you have enough money for retirement. You're preparing for when your car battery dies, or to have assistance paying a major unexpected medical bill. That all makes sense. The same goes for building a food storage plan. You're preparing for when emergencies or disasters strike and shelves go empty at your grocery store. The best way to prepare is with My Patriot Supply. They've helped 1 million hardworking Americans become more self-sufficient. My Patriot Supply sells hundreds of items, including dozens of emergency food kits, at MyPatriotSupply.com. It could be an earthquake, a cyber attack freezing our banking system, or a disaster that shuts down our power grid for weeks. For all these emergencies and more, get your supplies and prepare today at MyPatriotSupply.com. No more rushing to find empty store shelves because you're too late. Do it now so you're ready. MyPatriotSupply.com.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
George, you can go this way. You can't do that and you have to leave here.
You cannot bring signs into the rally.
Walk with me.
Well, I'm comfortable here, actually. Whoa, hey. Who do you think you are? Excuse me.
There is no video and audio allowed in this office.
No, I have work today.
You ain't gonna make it.
Wait on the calendar. Now. Wait a minute.
Whoa. Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable!
Why are you running from me? Because you scared me. What am I being detained for?
You're being served.
What is this?
You're being served.
What is this? Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
It's Free Talk Live, and it's the live Sunday edition of the show. You're invited here if you want to join us on the radio. Our number is 855-450 free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Ian,
Melanie,
and Richie Rich.
Don't forget to check out the Free Talk Live AMP program, and you can do like MuseFan has done and become a Free Talk Live amplifier. In fact, MuseFan joined as a gold amplifier, which means that that person is contributing $10 a month to the AMP program. AMP stands for Advertise, Market, and Promote. It is a way for you to get behind what we do here. And, of course, now in these crazy times, it's all the more important. So definitely appreciate people coming on board with AMP and staying on board. But if you got to cancel, I get it, man. You got to tighten your budget. I totally understand that. So we've had, of course, a few people have canceled recently, but we had a few people join too, which is great. So please go to amp.freetalklive.com. Do like MuseFan did. He's doing, or she is, I'm not sure, is doing $10 a month. You could be doing $5 if you want. There's the $5 level. That's our standard level. It's the silver amplifier. You can use PayPal or credit card or Bitcoin BTC over at amp.freetalklive.com. You get some cool perks like access to the supporters chat rooms on our Discord forum. There's still an AMP-only Facebook group for those of you still hanging out on Facebook, which is a pretty cool group. And head over to amp.freetalklive.com to get signed up there. We go back to Jay. He's in Sacramento. You were just telling us that not only do you have a girlfriend who works in the hospitals that has been sent home because there's just nobody at the hospital that in Sacramento, a major city in which she works, but then you were about to tell us about what you saw Bill Gates, the former CEO of Microsoft, saying recently in an interview. What did you see?
Yes. Whenever these elite globalists speak, I pay very close attention. Bill Gates said in a very polite, very kind, very caring, sugar-coated kind of way that this police state takeover will stay in place until a vaccine is developed. And when it is, everybody on this planet is going to have a vaccine.
Mandatory vaccine?
There it is. He didn't use the word mandatory. No, that's something that lies in the future, I guess. Your imagination can...
That's a legal term. But when everyone must get it, sounds pretty mandatory to me.
They use shaming so effectively and mass mind control so effectively that those of us who refuse to take these toxic vaccines will be just shamed right and left and probably prohibited from buying groceries and so who knows what tricks they might pull out of their hat. But I'm just telling you what I heard the man say, and so I would say that this is not going to end soon, and it's not going to end well. But I don't know. I tend to be pessimistic, but.
It's hard to be an optimistic. I tend to be optimistic, but man, I'm becoming disillusioned by some of this stuff.
Well, Ian's disillusioned. It's really bad.
It's bad. I mean, the people are so obedient, and it really is a sad thing to watch. And yeah, the social pressure is even getting to a lot of so-called libertarians who normally are used to being on the other side of what society thinks, but in this case, they're crumbling under the pressure, and they're kissing the boot.
The problem is I can't be shamed because I don't really care what other people think of me.
Yeah.
Like you can disassociate all you want and I'll be just fine.
But I don't know that I have a general population reputation to defend in the first place. So, I mean, whatever.
Thank you for the call tonight, Jay. I appreciate hearing from you and your thoughts. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE. We go to Josh. He's in Illinois listening on his own radio station. Josh, you're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead.
I want to talk about the privatization of public services. I know it's not really important right now, but I think it could be important here after this coronavirus. When people are using the parks, I think we need to, bid off the public services to the private sector so we get better services at a better cost.
Let's do it.
Isn't it going the opposite way right now, though? Like private services are becoming publicized. What's the word?
Nationalized.
There you go. Taking over.
Well, I'm not really sure about that, but I recently published an article on my website about how we should privatize this, and a lot of people they were kind of fear mongering. I mean, they were like, "Oh, we shouldn't do that." They would have all these illegals doing work that don't even speak English, and I was like, "Well, you can't prove that." And also, the fact that you would say that. I mean, you're
and
supposed
also
to be
what's
the
wrong
people.
with that?
So wait, are they saying they're against selling the parks to private agencies because they're worried that somebody from Mexico is going to, pick up the trash?
No. They're worried about having independent contractors do the things like picking up the garbage and running those parks, not owning them, but running them, and they're afraid they're going to have illegals working.
Okay, just to be clear, you're advocating that a government park should not be sold, but it should be run by a private agency?
No, I think he said it should be sold to a private
No, that's what he just said.
Okay.
No.
I thought that was the pushback.
Why not go all the way? Why not just sell it off?
Well, because then we could have issues where I think if the government controls it, it could be in the people's hands.
But it's never in the people's hands.
That sounds like the opposite of privatizing, which is what I thought you called it.
That's just the worst of both worlds, because then I'm responsible for paying for it, but then some other corporation is now like skinning off the top. Why would I want that?
Why not go all the way and just put up the parks for bid, let the highest bidder buy the park, and let them run it however they want to run it?
What if the Chinese government buys all the parks, Ian?
Okay, then you'll have to learn how to speak Chinese.
Where if the company purchases this and then it goes out of business, so then it's just the owner owning that land.
Well, usually what happens when a company goes out of business is they sell their assets off at the to the highest bidder. So,
but the thing is, there's a chance that could happen. People could buy those parks.
And then if there's a demand for parks, then somebody will open another park.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. You really can't worry about that because, first of all, the government sucks at doing everything, so they spend way too much money to run their parks service. So anybody else could probably do a better job and actually, make it successful. But even if they didn't, somebody else would buy that property up and do something with it. Now, maybe they'd close the park, but you know what? Somebody could have opened another park somewhere else. There's plenty of land. There's plenty of beautiful, pristine acres and forests and things like that. It's not like we're going to have a lack of places like that because people like that stuff. People want to have parks to go and like take their kids and play and bring the dogs to. And
are they willing to pay for it though? Because of a private.
Well, they
entity?
already are paying for it. Okay, they pay for it in their property taxes. They pay for it in their sales taxes. They pay for it in all these various taxes. Well, the thing is, they don't know how much they're paying for the parks. They really have no idea because it's all obscured by this massive system. So
and if they're not willing to pay for it, then there's no reason why they should have it.
Well, then there's not really a demand, right? Like if they want a thing for free, but they don't want to pay for that thing. I think plenty of people would be willing to like drop 25 cents or $1 or 50 cents in a little bin when they walk into the park. I think that would be completely reasonable.
I mean, are you going to have a park subscription?
I see.
Sure.
There are private parks that are open to the public for free, by the way.
I believe it.
Okay, I see issue with this because if you get like a very rich individual that buys up all the land in the town, that would be quote unquote available for a park, they could potentially monopolize it just like the government, and we could be under the same tyranny. Now, if the government
Well, it's not tyranny if somebody does it voluntarily, because if it was a rich person who bought up a bunch of parks, then they would have to pay for the parks on their own volition. They wouldn't be able to use the power of taxes to do that. But there's also another thing that prevents what you're saying from happening, and that is that if what you're saying is the rich person would buy individually owned land, then what would happen is that the owners of that land would catch wind that there's a rich person going around buying up all the land, and they'd start raising their prices.
Maybe, because that's how Disneyland or Disney World got built. They did it with a whole bunch of small subsidiary companies.
Oh, yeah?
So it didn't look like one guy was buying up all the land.
Yeah,
and then a few years later, boom, Disney World.
And you know what? People love Disney World. They love it. I don't go there. I don't really care about it. But
From what I can tell from a business standpoint, Disney is very well run, so...
People love Disney World. You pay $27 for a Domino's pizza that you pay $7 for here in Keene, but people do it all day and all night.
I just get scared it's going to be places like Six Flags that have closed in other spots, or stuff that would end up like Six Flags where it gets closed, and I'm scared about that. Is it getting closed?
There's no reason to be scared because you didn't invest in Six Flags, did you?
No, but then I won't have a spot to go out and enjoy a walk with my dog, especially if it's in an urban area.
So then maybe you could bid with some other neighbors and buy the park yourself? Maybe that's a possibility.
That's why I'm saying if the government does it, we kind of bite the bullet. It's kind of the best of both worlds.
No, because then you're using violence to threaten your neighbors who don't want to have a park.
I don't have a dog and I don't want to walk in the park.
There's just you that want to walk your dog. So there is a demand for that service.
There's a high demand for parks. A lot of people are interested in parks. I don't think you would have a problem with it, Josh, but what about the people who don't want to have a park? Why should they be forced to pay for the people that do want to have a park? That's not fair.
And right now, everybody's paying and nobody can go to it, so...
Thanks for the call tonight, Josh. I appreciate it. 855 450 free. It depends on where you are. A lot of states with stay-at-home orders are allowing people to walk and go out of their houses. More coming up.
Remember when you first heard about Bitcoin? How long did it take you to realize this little project would soon change the world? Do you kind of wish you had gotten involved sooner? Well, now is your chance to be part of the next revolution in money. Intercoin is working to finally make crypto go mainstream. It's designed to be scalable enough to support everyday payments and even elections without the state. Bitcoin was originally supposed to be a peer-to-peer cash system, the way we would all pay one another without having to trust any third party. But instead, over time, it mostly became a store of value. That's because every 10 minutes, the Bitcoin network must put all transactions into a block, and that block can only hold so much. If crypto is to become mainstream, for everyone to use it in everyday payments, we need a new architecture, one that's as secure as Bitcoin while being far more scalable. Check out intercoin.org to find out more, and maybe pick up some of those coins for yourself.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at Bitcoin.com. That's Bitcoin.com.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,628, silver at $14.41, and Bitcoin is trading around $6,702. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/freekratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, according to a new report from the New York Times, Americans bought nearly 2 million guns last month as the country slowly went into lockdown. Activist Post reports it's the second highest sales numbers ever seen in the U.S. for firearms, surpassed only by the January after then U.S. President Barack Obama's re-election, which was also when the Sandy Hook shooting occurred. And while more guns were sold in January 2013, the numbers are actually extremely close, with roughly 2 million guns sold during each time period. The data used in the report from the Times was based on the number of background checks reported by the FBI. So it's likely that the actual numbers are even higher, because background checks are not required in every state. The FBI has been tracking monthly gun sales in the U.S. since 1998. This week, U.S. President Donald Trump included gun stores, shooting ranges, and firearm and ammunition manufacturers in a list of essential businesses that can remain open during the lockdown. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. There were dramatic scenes at an airport in Shanghai, China, as U.S. agents hijacked a plane full of life-saving equipment, including 60 million masks, bound for coronavirus-stricken France. While the plane was on the tarmac, American agents managed to bribe locals into diverting the plane to the United States, plying them with cash. Minpress News reports it appears to not be an isolated incident. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau revealed that he had received similar reports of goods being seized and taken to the United States. Brazil, one of the U.S.'s most loyal allies, also broke with convention to criticize the Trump administration's pandemic gangsterism. President Trump spent weeks claiming that the virus was a liberal hoax, intended to dent his credibility, then downplayed the seriousness of the problem, before changing tack and blaming China for the thousands of dead. Amidst a COVID-19 outbreak, around 100 detained migrants at a private for-profit prison in Farmville, Virginia, have collectively gone on hunger strike, demanding their release on medical and humane grounds. Minpress News reports that's according to Sanctuary DMV, a volunteer organization helping immigrants in the Washington, D.C. area. Phone lines to the dorms have been cut, and visits have been suspended. Inmates claim that one dorm is under strict quarantine. The move comes in response to the inaction of Attorney General William Barr. Detainees at ICA Farmville had sent him a letter March 25th pleading to be released, but they received no reply. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
A report released Tuesday by physicists at Stanford University revealed that the entire known universe, from the whole of human civilization to the totality of matter and energy, is actually the fictional setting of a cop show called Hard Case. According to authors of the report, existence as we know it was created solely to provide the framework for the primetime drama that airs weekly in a parallel universe, and that every historical event prior to the show's September 2008 pilot, including the Renaissance, World War II, evolution, the September 11th attacks, and the presidential administrations of Washington through Clinton, never actually happened and are merely part of the elaborate backstory crafted by Hard Case creator and showrunner Dominic Egan.
We used to believe that our universe operated under immutable laws of thermodynamics and gravitational relativity, but now we know everything just comes from the minds of Hard Case's 12 staff writers. Overall, it seems like a very well-written show.
Physicists have theorized that the universe as we know it will cease to exist whenever Hard Case airs its final episode.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It's Free Talk Live. You bring up anything that you want. Our number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. And by the way, we were talking about press badges in the last hour. I did take the link that I found that I used to make a press badge last week that I wore out to the event that we had on the 1st of April outside of the State House, where we gathered more than 10 people. It was great. You can see the photos from it over at freekeen.com. But the link is on our Twitter at twitter.freetalklive.com. It's also on our Mastodon at toot.freetalklive.com. And you'll find it on our Telegram channel at telegram.freetalklive.com. Great little website called bighugelabs.com, where they just let you make a free press badge.
Sweet.
You can drop your picture in there. You can put, certain wording on there. And then what I did was I took the graphic that they, put out, that you manufacture on their website, and then I just added my logo to that graphic as well.
Nice.
So not very hard to do. We go to more of your calls and thoughts. You can, of course, share whatever's on your mind. Obviously, a lot of people concerned about the loss of freedom, but a lot of people cheering it on at the same time, thinking that they're going to be made more safe by tyranny.
I wonder, how much savings those people have, and if their savings level comports with their desire to be locked down.
That's a great question.
Because the quote official recommendation is 3 to 6 months. I'm like, okay,
that's
you
going
can
to devastate most
can have
people.
That reason. You can reasonably have that. Most people don't.
No, most people don't even have a $500 nest egg.
But do you really have enough? Because some people are saying we should keep this on until it's gone for a year, 18 months. I'm like, do you really have 18 months of savings that you could just
It's madness. Let's go to Lumpy.
No, they're going to get it from the state.
He's on the line with us here on Discord, on our Discord server at discord.lrn.fm, where you can sound this good. Lumpy, you're on Free Talk Live.
Good evening, awesome people, the three of you, and all the listeners who consistently listen to this show. I think the listeners that you guys have brought in and continue to bring awesome messages of like you guys do. I think they're awesome people. I think even the right wingers and the left wingers. So, I used to be on both sides of that. You guys have changed my mind on so many things so many years ago. And every time Melanie opens her mouth, I'm just impressed. I just love hearing Melanie. Anyway, enough blowing smoke up your booties.
Yeah, what are you calling about?
Give you a high five if they let us that close.
Right on, right on. Yeah, well, hey, I'll give you a high five anyway. I had this thing, I believe, and I never got tested. I don't go to the hospital unless it's an emergency. I mean, I have to be.
They cut my leg off. I'll go to the hospital.
You're a walking biological weapon.
That's what the hospital's for.
Yeah, exactly. And it shouldn't be. This Western medicine that everybody's buying into. Like, this is the only thing that is the vaccine. What about going out into the ditch and cutting some weeds or going, that actually cure you? What about all these other things? You got to use Lysol, which you spray around and that stuff you got to breathe in. And yeah, sure, it kills everything, but you breathe that in. There's an effect of that stuff. And I'm not any purist. I'm not saying I don't, I inhale some things that are less than, I got a history, right? I don't do any of that stuff.
He came out to the 420s back in the day. I remember.
Oh, yeah. That's, like I said, natural medicine, right? Exactly.
I mean, that's natural
medicine.
That's the weeds he's talking about.
I don't know how much medicine is in there, but it's natural.
So what's going on? You're down in Massachusetts, one of the worst places you can possibly be in general, but even worse now with their police state crackdown. What's it like down there?
Well, I'm out of business. I have no jobs. Basically, I've been a handyman for a long time, and I run a moving business. I haven't had a call since this whole thing started. That's it. I'm just offering to my neighbors who are all.
How handy are you? Because I got some work that needs to get done up here, and I don't have anyone to do it.
I'll be right up. I got a place I can stay up there. All
right, I'll talk to you off. I'll talk to you off the air about that.
Right on. That sounds good. You know how to get in touch with me.
But no work. There's no work to do. Who could afford to hire you now?
Exactly right. Well, this is where I am. I'm on Cape Cod. There are a lot of retired government people down here, school teachers, and all those system peoples, the golden cows of government, school teachers. There's a lot of retired policemen and stuff. But there's a lot of people with a lot of money down here. But it's also the off season. There's not a whole lot. It's going to get started going here pretty soon, and it'll be fine. But I've got bills. I can't pay. But I'm also a tax protester. I live outside the system. I have not filed taxes in well over a decade, and I won't.
Nice.
And I don't care. F them, because I don't believe in anything that they do with it. You want to argue with me? And I invite all the listeners to argue with me about it. I will all day long. Bring it on. But
get on Facebook, man. That's where everyone's
arguing.
Don't get on Facebook. If you want to argue with people, that's where to do it.
I got booted off of Facebook, and I'm not going to give them my ID because I use Lumpy Rutherford as my name, and your older listeners will know who that is. So, and I'm not going to give Facebook my ID because, as you know, that I have an FBI file because I say things like peace and we should be good and responsible, love our neighbors, try and do things for our neighbors. Because it comes back to us when we do that stuff tenfold.
So real quick, Lumpy, just so you know, stay off Facebook if you want to, but I'm on Facebook, and I am ID verified as Richie Rich because I printed up a free market privately issued ID card that said Richie Rich on it, and I have Amazon deliver mail to my address at Richie Rich. So I gave Facebook this privately issued ID card and a piece of mail parcel. And boom, they can't bother me about it anymore.
Facebook did take my non-government marriage license to change my last name.
Cool.
So that's all I'm saying. If you want to get back on as Lumpy Rutherford, just print one up yourself and do it.
Yeah, well, you know what? I did go as far as to search for apps, but I'm not even gonna.
You're not missing anything, dude. It's just an S show.
Exactly.
But that's what he's looking for. He's trying to argue with people. That's where you do it.
Maybe he doesn't want.
Yeah, that's true too. But I would rather have debate. Because the anonymity of online you do get through to people, but it's so tedious and there's so many nasty things because you're behind a screen. It's even me. I've said some stuff before. But I don't want to have my stuff online. It's, which is interesting because I do all my business is online, but they can't touch the accounts that I have, which is good because every time I have a bank account, I am unbanked. I use different accounts that I can use. There are things. And if you guys want to find out how to do that stuff, feel free to, you contact me on Discord.
All right.
I'll show you
what else you got, Lumpy. You're getting, you're losing focus.
Medicine.
Western medicine.
So Western medicine is all this. So everyone is talking about this vaccine. The problem with all this centralized government is there are so many people and companies and corporations vying for power. They want your money. As the economy crashes, they're taking every bit as they can. And the problem is that, I see, and I could be wrong about this, is that the poor people and the middle class, which are disappearing, I think are the ones who, look at me right now. I'm one of those poor people right now. I've got zero, and I don't beg for work. I refuse to do that. I don't take a government handout. I'm not going to apply for their little $1,200 BS thing that they're going to do. I've got to make it on my own. And I'm completely okay doing that. Sure, they're going to be hard days, but they're going to be harder days for a lot of people who can't do things and I know people who are in worse shape than me. So
yeah, and we're not even a month into these lockdowns yet.
You have marketable skills at some point. A lot of people may not, and if they're just doing nothing at home.
The thing is, 90% of it is showing up. If you're out there and you're talking to people and you're doing things, you're going to have value to people. And that goes
if only
for
there
all
was a
of
place to show up too.
Right.
Lumpy, great call.
Exactly.
Thanks for sharing your thoughts here tonight, man. I appreciate it. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. We were talking earlier, there's a story at CNN Business from a few days ago where they interviewed business owners about the difficulties that they're facing here. And one lady, and they're all in California, on one block. They talked to 6 business owners on one block. And the first lady was saying she hopes California will find a way to be lenient with small business and perhaps give us back some of the money that we've prepaid in order to be in business in the year 2020, because you have to give the government gang money or else they'll come and shoot you or throw you in a cage. She says we'd need abatement on the rent. To have to pay rent when we can't work, we'd be drowning in a lot of debt. She says, so far from what I've heard, the stimulus packages are probably going to benefit big industries the most. Probably hotels, airlines, things like that. Something funny I heard recently was, what if the small business owners received the stimulus and Wall Street had to set up a GoFundMe account instead of it always being in reverse? Well, she's a dreamer, and I appreciate that. 855-450-FREE like freedom. You can join us here. This is Free Talk Live.
Do you want to work from home, get paid, and forward liberty all at the same time? Free Talk Live is looking for account executives and appointment setters. If you've got a phone, a computer, internet connectivity, initiative, and a belief in the non-aggression principle, you're qualified. Earn up to $85,000 a year full-time, $25,000 a year part-time. Set your own hours, work from home, spread freedom. Join our team and work with one of the biggest leaders in the liberty movement. Apply now at sales.freetalklive.com. Sales.freetalklive.com.
When we adopted Buddy, we didn't know that she has to eat sitting up. So that said, just put him down. DINOVITE.com. I heard about Dynamite and started mixing it in with his food. He's happy, he's healthy, and he's going to be with me for a long time because of Dynamite. I love my dog. I want him happy and healthy, so I give him Dynamite.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
I get my Dynamite from DINOVITE.com.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app, and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org. Free Talk Live is now on more than 200 radio stations nationwide. We've had more than 18 million podcast downloads, and we claim millions of listens a month. We're a multimedia ad venue with print, email, web, and terrestrial radio marketing platforms. We strive to have ad packages that cater to advertisers big and small. Contact me today at marketfreetalklive.com to see what we can do for you. Marketfreetalklive.com. If you're a local advertiser, contact this station. But if you can service a national audience, contact me, marketfreetalklive.com.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you AMP Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. You dial in, toll-free number here, 855-450-FREE. We are doing a live Sunday edition of the program, and you're invited to join us. You can bring up anything you want. Obviously, what's on a lot of people's minds is the fact that the economy is being devastated by these government mandates that people stay home. And how
is that the only thing we should be worried about, Ian, is the economy?
Yes.
Is that the most important thing?
Well, yeah, because
what about health and safety?
Well, you can't have a healthy life if you can't afford to put food in your body because you can't work. So that's a big problem for a lot of people. And Melanie was touching on the question of how many people can really make this continue to live their life, continue to pay for life, their families, their bills, their business or whatever. Over the next month, over the next 2 months, we were reading the story from CNN Business where these business owners, they don't think I was just looking through the story, the first two don't think they can make it past May. If this goes on any longer than that, they're going to be out of business. And these are business owners who may have a little bit more money than the average American who is living paycheck to paycheck. The average American doesn't even have $500 that they can fall back on. It's going to get really ugly, I think, over this next month. But if you want to jump in, you can. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. It's Ian, Melanie, and Richie in the studio. We're going actually back to Discord, where Wes is on the line, calling us from our very own Keene, New Hampshire. Go ahead, Wes.
Hey, so I wanted to just address the topic of, arguing about politics in general. Me personally, I think it's kind of futile to argue about politics with just the average Joe, because a lot of times they're saying things that they think the government should do, but they're in no position of power. They're just a regular, Joe Blow across the street working at Starbucks or something.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it's I'm not going to change their mind. They're never going to affect my life. So I don't care if they're socialist or conservative or liberal.
You're almost never arguing with the person you're arguing. You're arguing with, or you're arguing for the audience. So if you don't have an audience, then it's a hobby at best. But if you do have an audience, if you're on the internet, or most people don't have access to a radio show, or not like we do, but then you might accomplish something.
But wait a minute, isn't there some kind of benefit to bringing average folks on board with the ideas of liberty? Because if the ideas become popular, then they can't be ignored anymore by people in the positions of power. So doesn't it to some extent behoove us to try to recruit the little guy?
Yeah, but the thing is, it's so hard to, if someone's already set in their ways, it's so hard to change their mentality. So
that's true.
Me personally, easy. I think what conservatives or socialists or communists should do is they should find other people who have like-minded views and just start their own community.
I agree.
To live out their principles.
That is the easiest solution, and it is the best solution, I think, generally, because liberals and conservatives are at each other's throats. They hate each other. They can't get along. They're always fighting. why try living together? Why continue even trying to living together? And the same thing's true with libertarians. Well, first of all, libertarians fight within themselves, but that's true of the conservatives and liberals as well. There's all kinds of infighting and schisms within any given movement, but generally they're going to be happier when they're around their own kind of people. So let the conservatives move into Texas, let the liberals move into California, let the libertarians move into New Hampshire, and let's try different experiments in different places and see what works the best. I think that makes the most sense. Unfortunately, people, if they don't have momentum, it's hard to get it, and it's a lot more comfortable to stay where they are. It's easier, right? Like, well, you've got a job. Well, maybe you won't now, but previously you had a job, you had a career, you put down some roots. So it's always hard to convince people, oh, you should move over there. Even though over there may be better and there may be more people like them over there, it's easier to just stay where you are.
Right.
So
why should I have to move when everyone else around me sucks?
Right.
Right. They should move.
But why would you want to be there if everyone around you sucks?
Because it's convenient.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I was born here, damn it, and this is my town.
Well, that's kind of the reason a lot of people stay in the United States, right? Like, why are libertarians moving only to one place in the United States when we could go take over a smaller country?
It's not easy to get out of the United States.
They'll stop you from leaving the U.S. They won't stop you from leaving Louisiana.
Well, wait a minute. First, you have to get out of the U.S., which is its own challenge. But even if you can get out of the U.S., like by getting your government hall pass, the passport, then you've got to get into that other place, and they may not want to let you into that other place. So you got a lot of challenges if you try to leave the United States.
Well, it's more than a passport. A passport is more for I'm going and I'm coming back. If they know you're not coming back,
right?
If they don't want to let you leave, they won't.
Yeah, so that's why it's easier to move within the United States. But even then, it's hard to convince people to do that. Yeah. It's been incredibly difficult to convince libertarians to come to what is already arguably the most free state, which is New Hampshire, to be with thousands of other like-minded people. There's still libertarians who, there was a guy in Los Angeles who I was talking to. He's a really good libertarian guy, and like, well, man, why don't you move to New Hampshire? I mean, your girlfriend's from New Hampshire originally. Why don't you move? It's like, I love L.A.
It's the culture. It's the beaches.
Well, man, if you like the culture,
Hollywood.
then I guess you like, this borderline communism.
Yeah,
so
I just don't get it.
That's a weird
I don't get
position.
it. But then again, I moved.
Yeah.
And so did all of us.
Everyone here moved.
In the studio. You too, Wes. You also moved here. In fact, from the West Coast. You moved twice.
Exactly. Well, I've been back to the West Coast to get more financially stable.
Right.
So I could continue living in
You
New
came
Hampshire,
back. But you're one of the few who moved and came back after leaving. A lot of people will move here, then leave for whatever reason. They've got different reasons, like family, or my mom's dying, or I wanted to start a band in California. There's all these reasons that people have, and that's fine. They're on their own journey, whatever. They should do what they want. But most of them don't come back. So you did, Wes, so kudos to you.
I think my least favorite reason to not move is because the one pet issue that New Hampshire isn't the most free on yet.
Oh, you don't have legal weed.
You don't have that yet? Well, let me know when you do, and then I'll come over there.
Yeah, okay. So if weed outweighs for you, not only is your most important issue, but outweighs lack of business regulation, lack of income tax and general sales tax, lack of gun laws, period, on a state level, like everything else. If it's like weed versus everything else and you pick weed, I really don't want you here.
Just
so
let me know when you guys got the free weed, and then we'll be right there.
That's the thing. That person is useless because they don't want to even do the work to get there, right?
They don't want to do the work to find illegal weed. Come on.
But they're saying, oh, I'll join you if you solve the problem that I want solved.
Their one pet issue.
Yeah.
Whatever.
What are they going to do when they get here? Nothing.
That's like the best reason to not decriminalize weed.
To keep them out?
Yes.
Yeah, well, they wouldn't move anyway. Because they're probably already in California or one of those places, Colorado.
They already got their pet issue state.
Wes, any other thing you want to share? Go ahead.
Yeah, so like I was saying, it's really futile to argue with people. I think instead of arguing with people, try to convince them, like, hey, you know what? You think what you believe is right. So find other people who believe that way and then form your own community. And that way, you're also teaching them libertarian principles, as in voluntary association. And they get to have their community. You get to have your own community. You guys don't bicker or fight ananymore.
Thanks for the call tonight, Wes. I appreciate it, man.
We'll still bicker and fight.
The toll-free number is 855. No, we won't. 855-450-FREE.
Break it up, you two.
855-450-3733. You can bring up whatever you want. Share your thoughts with us here on this live Sunday edition of Free Talk Live. And don't forget, you can sound awesome like Wes there and Lumpy before him if you just call on our Discord server. It takes just a moment to register an account, and then you're good to go over at discord.lrn.fm. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McAlvany ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com. The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Dial in, toll free, bring up anything. Number here, 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. With you here tonight, it's Ian,
Melanie,
and Richie Rich.
And you can join us online over at freetalklive.com. All the features are free on the site, so please go and enjoy those on us Once again, that's freetalklive.com, including archives that go back 15 years, I think, at this point, almost. A lot of archives. Free at freetalklive.com. Also free, well, there's no ticket price, ForkFest 2020. A lot of, festivals you got to pay a ticket to get into. There's costs involved in running that festival. ForkFest doesn't have any overhead because there's no organization to support. There's no bureaucracy. There's no board of directors. There's no organizers, except for each individual, because you get to organize your own experience at ForkFest. It is a libertarian, decentralized camping festival that happens in the White Mountains of New Hampshire, the beautiful Rogers Campground. It's an absolutely splendid location. This year it'll be June 29th until July 5th. At least that's the plan, unless the government goons decide to shut down campgrounds.
Which there was talk of at our little Sunday meetup group.
Yeah, there's a rumor going around that some busybodies are trying to petition the New Hampshire governor to ban camping and ban RVs from the state because people are afraid of New Yorkers coming here, which is ridiculous paranoia. But regardless, that may be successful. So we'll update you if we hear further about that. Until further notice, though, ForkFest is on because no one, with the exception of the campground owner, could possibly stop us from going. So plan for it. June 29th until July 5th. You can go to forkfest.party and connect up with other ForkFesters there and start planning stuff. There's already other people planning to do things because you get to decide what to do. Do you want to just hang out and, camp with other libertarians, voluntarists, or do you want to create things for them to do? Because you can do that too over at forkfest.party. We go back to your calls and thoughts. Robert is on the line in South Carolina listening to WTMA. Robert, you're on with Ian, Melanie, and Richie.
Hi, Ian and Richie. I just wanted to try to explain that it's very important, actually, to have an elected government with bureaucracy and the associated law enforcement officers.
I reject that statement already.
Why is it important?
Because the alternative would be a disaster.
Why?
What's the alternative? There's several alternatives.
There's an infinite number of alternatives.
Well, what would happen is you can think of the 1930s in the United States during Prohibition. That's the alternative.
We have Prohibition now.
Why is Prohibition in the 1930s in the U.S.
That was government
alternative
created.
to a democracy?
We have Prohibition now, by the way, so that's happening. And that's brought on by the government that you're singing the praises of.
If the police disappeared, you can imagine what would happen. You'd have gangs.
So you don't
arise.
want to have a conversation. You just want to keep on just harping on this because it's the police who create prohibition. You understand that, right?
Well, actually, it wasn't. They were just the enforcers. It was the people who created prohibition.
No, the people did not create prohibition.
The state, the bureaucrats,
Prohibition was
the
not
government
voted
gang.
on. Prohibition was an act of Congress.
The Congress people created prohibition and the police enforced it. If the police were good people, if the police were actually out there protecting people like they purport to do, then they would have refused to enforce that. They would have said, whoa, this is a violation of the people's right to liberty, the right to pursue happiness by having a beer. And they would have said, hell no, we're not going to enforce this, and threw it right back in their face. That's what good police would have done.
If the people didn't want prohibition, the Congress would never have gone for it.
Whoa. Can you really possibly believe those words coming out of your mouth? Are you saying that everything that Congress does, people want?
It's the will of the people, Ian. There are elected officials. They represent us.
Are you saying, Robert, that people want hundreds of billions of dollars of money to go to mega corporations for bailouts and banks and things like that? Is that what people want?
The most important thing to a congressman is the seat that he's sitting on.
I asked you a question. Are you saying that that's what people want? Do people want hundreds of millions of dollars going to mega corporations from their pocket to mega corporations?
Not really.
Okay, but then that would contradict what you said earlier about the people wanting the things Congress did. So you're admitting that the Congress people do things all the time that people don't want them to do, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So now keep going ahead and defending this system?
I don't know if I can use a congressman's name, but I can give you an example of a congressman who does exactly the kinds of things that you're talking about, but she gets elected with over 80% of the vote. She's done that the last 4 elections. And the thing is, the people want goodies. And as long as they're going to get their goodies, they'll go along with whatever she votes for.
What goodies?
The handouts.
Congressmen are supposed to bring back a little pork, They're supposed to bring back.
That doesn't go back to the people.
In some ways, in a lot of ways, it does. They get jobs. They have governmental industries that get set up, like a mint, for example, or prison.
Well, okay, I'm going to take Robert's side on this one, because even libertarian hero Ron Paul, right, would insert pork into the bills
but
that he would vote no on.
But the pork doesn't go back to individuals. You don't get a pork check.
It goes back to the
from
community
the government
in some way. It's bringing
It
some
goes to
federal
some
money.
sort of local so-called community thing.
Right.
You know, the local government gets $1 million to build a new pool or some crap like that or whatever.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff like that they bring back.
Yeah, it's a huge scam, and then it ends up being dealt out to the most politically connected contractors so they can get the job at inflated rates. The whole thing's a scam from top to bottom, Robert. It's a shame that you don't see that.
I see that. I have no question.
But you're defending it.
I'm saying that if the people didn't were willing and able to go along with this, they would vote these Congress people out of office so fast it'd make your head spin. But they are willing to go for it, and that's why she wins with over 80% of the vote.
Most people don't even vote.
That's true. That doesn't make democracy better than all other alternatives.
Yeah, so what would happen if tomorrow the government disappeared?
Chaos.
It would be anarchy. If the government disappeared,
It would be anarchy. I agree with the statement that if the government disappeared, it would be anarchy.
Okay, you'd have gangs, tribes, and families taking over pieces and parts of everything, over geographical areas. It would be a syndicated operation.
We already have gangs taking over geographical areas. They call themselves the state.
The governor of New Mexico, the governor of South Carolina.
Just because the gang lets you go and check a box on a piece of paper once every 4 years doesn't mean they're not a criminal gang, dude.
The difference is that we elected these people. The gangs, we will not have
just the delusion. The idea that the gang is not a gang because you went and voted for somebody.
What if I didn't vote for them?
What if they gerrymandered it into a 57-side shape?
Over 50% of the people did vote for these people. That's
most of the time. That's not true.
Well,
he's got one example of 80%, though.
Actually, it's supposed to be for the most
80% of the voters might have voted for the woman, but that's not 80% of the people. There's a large chunk of people who aren't even registered to vote. What about those people? What about the people that don't want to participate in the voting?
If you don't participate, you're giving your vote to somebody else, essentially. And that
that's not true.
I'm not.
And that person's going to make that decision for you.
That's not
Good
true.
luck with that.
You say it doesn't make it true. Richie here doesn't vote. That doesn't mean that he's giving his vote to someone else. I don't get an extra vote because Richie doesn't vote.
If only a handful of people vote, that gives them a tremendous amount of power, that handful of people.
No, it doesn't.
There's been elections where no one has voted and the guy still stays in office.
Do you think that the federal government is just believes and is the case that voting is this powerful thing that can change who's in power and allows it to happen anyway?
They can change who's in power, for sure.
Sure, buddy. From scumbag A to scumbag B. What's the
lesser
difference?
of two evils.
They should know who they're voting for.
I know who is being voted for. They are trash. They are liars. They are thieves. They are criminal scum. And every one of them
goons,
is
tyrants,
scum.
despots, parasites.
Then get out there and run for office yourself.
Vote harder.
No, I'm
Get
not going
out
to
there
run
and
for
vote
office
harder.
because I don't want to control other people's lives.
Well, I have run for office, and I don't want to control other people's lives, and I've specifically said that while running for office. But you know what? To some extent, Robert is right. People do want to have government. They do. That's why libertarians don't win.
That is true.
In these elections. Libertarians don't have a chance. And if you look around, and thank you for the call, Robert, if you look around us during this COVID-19 so-called crisis, manufactured situation, people are begging for the state. They're begging to be ruled. They're begging to be told what to do. They're begging for other people to be controlled and told what to do. And it's really tragic.
They want safety, Ian.
And those who would give up their liberty in return for safety deserve neither and will ultimately get neither. We're coming up. Free Talk Live.
Would you like to get back that full head of hair from years past? Now, there is Reveal. Beverly Hills celebrity dermatologist Dr. Nathan Newman took nearly a decade to develop Reveal from natural botanicals to return to a full-body head of hair. Reveal for men and women with a 30-day money-back guarantee at gcnlife.com or toll-free 844-443-6637. 844-443-6637. Reveal at gcnlife.com.
Now, with orders to stay at home, public health concerns, the reality of illness due to pathogens and viruses, your health is at an all-time high risk. That's why it's critical to take a proactive approach to boost your immune system. You can with new nano-colloidal silver from Americare, our patented process with tiny silver particles, 1/100th the size of a red blood cell, allows for maximum body absorption. Americare's nano-colloidal silver effectively disinfects your body internally, attacking pathogens and viruses while supercharging your immune system. Colloidal silver is antibacterial and antiviral. Simply put, it prohibits bacterial respiration, suffocating viral cells, preventing the virus from replicating. And now, due to public health concern, Americare is authorized to offer our lowest and best price ever, around $1 a day, but supplies are limited. Purchase nano-colloidal silver now at immunesupportnow.com. That's immunesupportnow.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Supplies are limited.
We've all seen and perhaps use the alcohol-based hand sanitizers. Have you noticed how it dries your skin, and as soon as the alcohol evaporates, it's no longer effective? GCNteam.com has alcohol-free antibacterial soap and foam meeting or exceeding all requirements set forth by the United States Food and Drug Administration. Come to GCNteam.com, keyword antibacterial, or call 877-878-4203.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
Yep, it's Free Talk Live. Moments remain. Maybe enough time for you if you join us here. The number's 855-450, free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We have the Discord call-in line rooms at discord.lrn.fm. With you tonight, you've got Ian. Oops, sorry, Melanie, try that again.
Melanie.
And Richie Rich.
There we go. All right. We're going to go back to your phone calls and thoughts. We've been kind of had an overall focus on small business this show tonight and how the government goons don't really care about small business, that they're going to help out the big businesses in comparison, and small businesses, well, good luck to you.
And write special code into the legislation to make businesses look like small businesses.
Larger business look small, yeah. So they can qualify for boondoggle money, all kinds of printed money that they're going to use the money printers to go print out more money. And then, of course, that inflates the money supply, which will likely devalue the dollar as compared to other things like gold or silver. And, ooh, that reminds me, I got a I had a message with Tim, who's the guy behind Roberts and Roberts, one of the great libertarian gold and silver dealers out there. And I just want to share with you what he said to me, because I just kind of asked him. I was looking at maybe, I love Goldbacks. I've got Goldbacks, goldback.com. They're not a sponsor, but I love what they do. But I wanted to, maybe get like just some normal gold to just stack away somewhere. And I said, hey, looking at, getting some gold. You guys seeing sales up overall in the last month? Because I'd heard that, the gold business had been pretty busy recently. Here's what he said. We did, up until the world ran out of products to sell. Now there are long waits or no available products. And I'd noticed this when I was on his website, Roberts and Roberts, rrbi.co. It's like waits. There's like almost nothing was available to sell. He says gold premiums have more than doubled. Silver premiums are triple. Demand is still high, and everything is sold before we get it. Wow. Not sure when we will see it get caught up. We effectively closed off sales 2 weeks ago, only selling to large buyers for quick deals with wire transfers, bank checks, and Bitcoin. Essentially just buying from people that are selling and reselling to other clients, half afraid to even ship anything, lest it be caught in a transport lockdown. I said, crazy times, wow. And he said, similar to what we saw in 2008, except it all happened much faster and supplies ran out much faster. Wholesalers and Mint would still sell to you with promises of future delayed delivery. Most aren't even doing that. He means today.
Right.
And then he finally says, the craziest I've seen. Buy anything you can find. You'll need it.
Wow.
So you got a guy with 4 decades of experience in the gold and silver business saying he's never seen anything like this.
See, and that's part of the unseen effects of this whole stimulus money printing deal, right? Production is shut down for anything but non-essential services, right? So you're going to insert more dollars into the money supply, chasing less available goods in most industries.
Yeah.
What is that going to do? It's a double whammy.
This is not good. Not good at all. We continue with your calls and thoughts. Mark is in Pennsylvania. You're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead, Mark.
Hey, guys. What's up?
Hey, what's on your mind?
I was wondering if you've seen the Netflix docuseries, How to Fix a Drug Scandal.
I have not.
No.
No, I've not.
2 Massachusetts state chemists, Sonia Farrick and Ann Ducan, that were tampering with evidence and falsifying results.
We covered those stories back when they were in the news. We did. They had to actually undo a ton of convictions in Massachusetts after they found out about these drug lab people that were falsifying results.
Yeah, I think I remember the stories about it, but I didn't see the documentary.
Yeah, it was incredible. I mean, thousands of people affected.
Right.
So I'm glad they finally got out. There was one guy who actually committed suicide because the state kept.
Were they doing the drugs too that they were testing?
Sonia was.
Yeah, I remember hearing that. At least one of them was.
Yeah, she was doing the pure meth, the standard they keep, 100% purity. Liquid meth.
She was using herself as the test kit.
Might as well.
Yeah.
And that's odd. So then she would have to keep reordering it, right? And that wouldn't make any sense.
Wait, you have to keep reordering what?
If she's
the
doing
meth lasted her for years.
If she's doing the sample that they test against.
No. She was running a drug lab for the state, or working at the drug lab. So she would get police testing submissions in. So she was just getting free meth in from the cops and doing the meth.
Oh, okay.
And then saying that even if it, and then falsifying the reports.
Right.
So if it wasn't meth, she still said it was.
So yeah, she was sending all kinds of people to prison as she was doing the very drugs that they were getting busted for. Yeah. Is that right, Mark?
It seemed like Sonia was just doing the drugs, but she was at least trying to do her job. And Ducan was the one that was, they call it dry labbing, where that she doesn't even test it. She just calls it heroin or cocaine.
Wow.
Got to get those conviction numbers up.
So you enjoyed the documentary, it sounds like?
Well, working as an engineer in the food and pharma industry, right off the bat, this would never have happened because we're audited regularly by customers. Every piece of the lab is seen by everybody, all of our customers, all the engineers, all the supervisors. The fact that the state could run this is just incredible.
Was it actually a state-run lab, or was it a private laboratory contracted with the state?
Pretty sure it was state-run. Sonia was at the Amherst in Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, if the state's getting the convictions based off the results of that lab, they're going to keep going back there because they only care about the numbers. Yeah.
Yeah,
They don't
but
care about
this is the
justice.
fact-
They care about convictions.
Yeah.
That's the problem. They showed the state police commissioner and the assistant district attorney come out and say that they don't believe any of the cases are affected. Just the fact that they didn't release those thousands of people right off the bat just proves how screwed the justice system is.
Well, and how do you compensate all those people for, stealing as many years of their lives as they did?
You
Right.
can't.
Well, I mean, it's equivalent to murder, if you ask me. You give someone a felony and a prison term, what are you going to do? How are you going to work again? I couldn't work again. I couldn't work as an engineer ever again.
Well, they should be released, and those things should be exonerated and expunged, so that you don't have to say yes on the employment form that you've been convicted of a felony.
For sure. Yeah.
Mark, thanks for calling. You said the documentary was called what?
It's How to Fix a Drug Scandal.
Thanks for the call tonight, man. I appreciate hearing.
I thought he was
going
to bring up Tiger King.
Other people have called about that, though. David in New Mexico, you're on Free Talk Live. Hello, David.
Yeah, government media cabal never ends. I'm wondering if New Mexico. First of all, listening to you on KENN. Oh, hey, that's funny. I was listening to KENN to a non-political show. They have a Four Corners Car Talk that I listen to as an escape from politics. And then the last 2 weeks in a row, they do it on a Saturday out of Farmington, is the car dealership guys there. And they started talking about politics. They had politicians on their car talk show.
Ew.
Ruining the, yeah.
They do that on the
ruining
tech
show.
shows, too.
Terrible.
Really sucks.
To what
I don't
end?
know. But anyway, they had
Because
this,
government's
they-
getting involved in the tech field, right? Like, Facebook and Microsoft have lobbyists. And
Right, but I'm not going to bring, the head of the DEA to come talk on my cooking show because they run food.
Well, they probably
Like,
didn't
that
bring the
would've-
DEA in, but
I mean, the FDA, whatever.
They had candidates for office, and then they had some experts from hospitals and a government medical expert.
On a car
anyway,
show?
It's not. It's
Wow.
Four Corners Car Talk is what it's called, and it's usually an escape. I literally was using it as an escape, something to listen to that was fun. It was an escape from politics, and here 2 weeks in a row they turn it into politics, and then it's a call-in show, and now the same thing's happening there. You call in with a strong opinion on politics based on what they broadcast over the airwaves to everybody, and then one guy calls in and has something to say about it. Imagine that somebody's got a strong opinion, and then they start to shut you. Then they start to shut you down. Four Corners Car Talk, KENN. What's up with that?
Tisk,
so
tisk.
anyway,
Only the acceptable government line is allowed on the air.
Yeah, that's true. All right, David, what else?
And that was the main thing, but it goes deeper. And the thing that this chick was saying, this Terry Fortner running for County Commission District 4, what she was saying was contradictory because she was for prohibition of marijuana, but she was against prohibition of guns. So what's up with that? How can you be for? And it was because of her reasoning. It was because marijuana was dangerous to your health, and guns are not. But guns are not dangerous to your health, which I would agree with in
That
most
sounds like a
cases.
pretty standard conservative line.
Guns can absolutely be dangerous to your health if you accidentally shoot yourself with one, for instance. But you're right. People need to understand these prohibitionists need to be consistent. Either be in favor of prohibition across the board for everything, or you should be against prohibition for everything and allow people to make choices. There's a great little documentary called Guns and Weed. I highly recommend
I've seen that.
That people check that out. It's excellent. It's free to watch on YouTube. So
It's supposed to bring the conservatives and the liberals together.
And I think it does a good job of making that pitch. I think it does. So if you got a conservative gun guy who doesn't get it on drugs, or a guy who gets it on drugs but doesn't get it on guns, show him that documentary. It's a good starting point to start a conversation. We'll see you tomorrow night online. In the meantime, freetalklive.com.
Remember when you first heard about Bitcoin? How long did it take you to realize this little project would soon change the world? Do you kind of wish you had gotten involved sooner? Well, now is your chance to be part of the next revolution in money. Intercoin is working to finally make crypto go mainstream. It's designed to be scalable enough to support everyday payments and even elections without the state. Bitcoin was originally supposed to be a peer-to-peer cash system, the way we would all pay one another without having to trust any third party. But instead, over time, it mostly became a store of value. That's because every 10 minutes, The Bitcoin network must put all transactions into a block, and that block can only hold so much. If crypto is to become mainstream, for everyone to use it in everyday payments, we need a new architecture, one that's as secure as Bitcoin while being far more scalable. Check out intercoin.org to find out more, and maybe pick up some of those coins for yourself.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and our main feed that includes everything. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,628, silver at $14.41, and Bitcoin is trading around $6,702. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/freekratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, according to a new report from the New York Times, Americans bought nearly 2 million guns last month as the country slowly went into lockdown. Activist Post reports it's the second highest sales numbers ever seen in the U.S. for firearms, surpassed only by the January after then U.S. President Barack Obama's re-election, which was also when the Sandy Hook shooting occurred. And while more guns were sold in January 2013, the numbers are actually extremely close, with roughly 2 million guns sold during each time period. The data used in the report from the Times was based on the number of background checks reported by the FBI. So it's likely that the actual numbers are even higher, because background checks are not required in every state. The FBI has been tracking monthly gun sales in the U.S. since 1998. This week, U.S. President Donald Trump included gun stores, shooting ranges, and firearm and ammunition manufacturers in a list of essential businesses that can remain open during the lockdown. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. There were dramatic scenes at an airport in Shanghai, China, as U.S. agents hijacked a plane full of life-saving equipment, including 60 million masks, bound for coronavirus-stricken France. While the plane was on the tarmac, American agents managed to bribe locals into diverting the plane to the United States, plying them with cash. Minpress News reports it appears to not be an isolated incident. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau revealed that he had received similar reports of goods being seized and taken to the United States. Brazil, one of the U.S.'s most loyal allies, also broke with convention to criticize the Trump administration's pandemic gangsterism. President Trump spent weeks claiming that the virus was a liberal hoax, intended to dent his credibility, then downplayed the seriousness of the problem.